Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Time for the crossover, powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Matt and Josh, hello.
I never properly get set up before we get on the air because we just break into a four-man show.
No. You come in and immediately have thoughts and
You are just yapping.
And so then you don't give yourself the chance to set up.
Mr. Yap.
Can you just allow me
I think I want to get a tattoo.
I don't know that I realized how many of Happer's sort of nicknames are just Mr. put in front of another word.
You just found that out?
I'm very creative.
You really?
I'm telling you, this wasn't as big of a thing when we last worked together in 2021.
Beef Man is the most creative one just because it doesn't have a
Well, I'm
Mr.
sure
in
it
front of
started as Mr. Beef and then it became Beef Man.
No, that was just a suggestion from Twitter Sam, who said Beef Man one day. So that's not even mine.
So yesterday we had Connor on Blue Jay Overtime because, I was just like, you want to call in and celebrate?
Good get,
Blue Jay overreaction time. Please.
Yes.
Let's get the name correct.
Basically. Here. And it was so funny. Like Connor's on hold. And while Connor was on hold until we got to him in the next segment, it was the Beef Man promo.
Oh, amazing.
So,
I heard it.
So
that is terrific.
So Connor calls in. Joey puts him on hold. Literally 1 second after being put on hold, we just hear, is there like a no L and no T? I don't want the L and the T.
So
it's so good.
When you do Blue Jay overreaction time, is that on the stream?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why isn't it, by the way? Josh,
that makes way more sense to me if it would have been on the stream.
Josh, put overtime reaction on YouTube.
Overreaction time, please.
Actually, yeah, that's Nick's job. Nick, what are we doing?
He doesn't care about the Blue Jays.
It's not a Formula One.
But he does care about video.
Hey, it is a real sport.
Nick,
You're dumb. You're dumb. You're a child.
Don't you want more content on your YouTube page? I have it for you. It's called Blue Jay Overreaction Time.
It's called the Joey Colbert Hour.
The Joey Colbert Hour.
It is honestly a hope of mine that we can get this to be renamed Blue Jay Overreaction Time.
I literally
some
just
sponsors going to call
the last segment of the show. I just told Joey, I go, "You want to go?" And he was just like, "Sure." And I just let him read the Big East standings and all the things that happened. And then I was like, read the Big East standings and read like results that affected like the Creighton today. And he goes, okay. And then it took him like 2 minutes to do that. And then he took the next 3 minutes telling everybody what the other Big East games for the rest of the week were.
Awesome.
I like it.
Awesome.
And he's just like,
segment,
you got
folks.
Providence doing this. You got this on Thursday at 8:00.
Joey sketch.
And I was just like, okay. I let him
He
run.
did say something about getting in the 4-5 spot today, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess that is still on the table.
Yeah, that was on Monday.
He is obsessed with not playing an extra game at MSG.
He's thinking about it just how it pertains to him because he wants to do the games. And he doesn't want them to be so late at night that he can't do them.
I actually,
very selfless.
Can I be honest with you? I think Joey does it because he still thinks they have a shot at winning the Big East tournament.
Well, there's maybe a small part of that, but really it comes down to what Happer talked about because Happer tried to take Joey off the games by saying that last night was his last game.
I don't know what.
And Joey very forcefully said, "No, I will be doing more games that aren't at 8:00."
Yeah. He told me, he's like, this is gonna be really hard for me if I can't do Blue Jay games again. Like he's like,
it means a lot to him.
He goes, this might be my last year. He's like, and he got a little emotional, and I got emotional seeing him get emotional.
Blue Jay overreaction time means a lot to people.
He should listen to Landslide.
That man loves the Jays. That man loves Creighton basketball.
I am aware.
I don't know. I'm just if Joey might cry producing his last Creighton Blue Jay game. If I'm there to see it, I might cry too. I'm a sucker at the.
You should put together a montage of all the great moments that have happened as he's been the producer of Overreaction.
Yeah. I don't think we have any of those.
Well, we just had one.
I mean, Joey would have to make it, but
I said that he should.
Yeah,
I didn't say
Did
anyone
you
else.
cry watching the locker room emotion yesterday?
You
are a sucker for when people cry.
I did.
You're a sucker for when people cry.
If somebody cries, like it's like if somebody throws up, I'm very likely to throw up.
Sure.
Like if somebody
Josh,
cries,
keep it under wraps, partner.
No.
if somebody
Did we know that about this pairing?
no, if I'm going to tell you right now, if Josh had thrown up in front of
Darren
me,
drops
I would have
over
been
there.
right behind him throwing up.
You know, that doesn't get brought up enough. The poise in which you showed in that moment.
Thank you, Josh. That you're right. Nobody does talk about that. I just blew right through it.
Yep.
What are other things that nobody talks about that we should talk about when it
is
comes to
largely
Connor
a
Happer?
compliment to Connor.
Yeah.
of
Continue
course,
to
of
compliment
course.
yourself. Yes.
I would never compliment myself. I only like
except for
talking
just
about
like
myself when
30
people
seconds ago.
compliment me. Happy to talk
He
about
never
it.
wants to be the first.
Never wants to be
complimenter.
the first guy, but he'll be the second and third
He's the
and
ultimate
fourth
pile-on
and fifth.
guy.
And
That's
big
right.
time.
You opened up the gates, and I'm happy
He
to
doesn't
go
want
right
to be at
through
the
'em.
bottom of the dog pile, but he wants to be jumping on top.
Front running Connor
Seriously.
Happer. That's what I call him. He's like Aaron Rodgers. When he gets
You know
a
me.
lead, he's the
I'm
best
a go with
quarterback
the
ever.
flow kind of guy.
Are you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't go much against the grain.
Is he? I don't know.
In some ways, he very much is. In other ways, I don't know that I accept
Look at me.
that
I'm the most
premise.
boring man on the face of the
That
earth.
is not true.
I do what everybody else
You
tells me to do.
created Beef Man,
When I go to a restaurant, I order whatever they tell me to order.
and until
And
you
I'm happy
That's
about
where
it.
the going with the flow sort of.
until you find out that it costs twice as much as you thought it
No,
would.
I don't care.
You still pay it.
Still pay it. Yeah.
Oh, when I was listening yesterday while driving, and I was like trying to mentally do the math as to what that bill was.
Yeah.
And then I was doing the math as to where I would be broken if I was in a similar situation.
Ooh,
It's tough.
Matt now knows the number, and he was a little surprised.
oh,
Trust me, I was surprised too.
Oh, I would like that. Would be financially backbreaking for me.
Joe Exotic. I'm never going to financially recover
I mean,
from this.
the whole
I mean-
weekend in general was financially not backbreaking. Maybe in the sense of like backbreaking, like Batman, like he got out of there. He got out of the gulag. Like you had to climb out of it a little bit. I had to do the tushy, bah, bah. I had to do that whole thing, but we got out of it.
Incredible.
That's so good.
The most boring man in the world. Just
Can
dropping
we?
the
Can
broken
we?
back Batman reference that most
This-
people agree makes
Can
no
we-
sense. in
He's
that
seen
movie.
10 movies in his life, and Dark Knight Rises is one of them.
I've also seen Dark
The
Knight.
worst of the trilogy.
Can we get a graphic of Connor's face on Batman's back being broken, and then we'll put a sushi roll on Bane's face?
Just put me in Napa County, California. Yeah. That's the background. It's not the gulag. I
Oh.
just had to.
You didn't go to a gulag. You're in wine country.
It was lovely. It was
I don't know. To
fantastic.
me, the wine country sounds like, for the people that I can't stand, wine country sounds like the gulag to me.
Wine country is fantastic.
It was awesome.
Oh,
I'm
regret
talking about
nothing.
the people.
I'm hearing good
The
things.
people were
Yeah.
great too.
I don't know. I'm not a West Coast guy.
Have you been on the West Coast?
I feel like, yes.
But you got to
a
go with the flow.
ton.
You got to act like it sometimes.
He had never been to California before.
See,
You shouldn't act like that's that weird.
I'm
of
an
a
East Coast
question.
guy.
I'm
I'm a New Yorker.
I've met
He's
Midwest.
a Gold Coast guy.
I've met Midwest people. I didn't grow up. I never went to the Gold Coast growing up. I've met Midwest people who could be more, who like are more West adjacent, who could like fit
What do you
well
think
on the
I
West
am?
Coast. I think you're East Coast. You're from New York.
I am, and yet I was having the time of my life on
But
the
you
West
go with the
Coast.
flow guy. You're Mr. with the
That's
flow.
what I'm saying. I'm saying you need
Mr.
to be
Flow,
more of
if
it.
you will.
Am I no coast?
I just think you're a man.
It just fit.
Whoa.
I just think
Thank you. I
I
appreciate
just
that.
think you're a dude. I just think you're
Because
fine.
I exist where I am.
I taught you. You are, if anything, if we're talking about going with the flow humans, it's Mike Schaefer. Probably the most adjacent.
but
to
you're
that.
going to hear a
Oh.
lot of complaints as I go
Oh,
with.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a quitter, but I'm a complainer. Like I will do it. I will do it. But you're going to hear about it.
What
like-
coast is Josh?
Mm.
Omaha.
I think
coast.
Josh would do well in Texas.
Oh,
That
right.
is not a coast.
No,
It has-
no,
it
that's not
has
true.
some
That's
coast.
Gulf of America coast.
It has
Yes.
some coast, yes.
I feel like Texas is just its own
Galveston,
country.
that dirty
That
water.
dirty, Great water.
Galveston, Odson over there.
Galveston,
I tried to explain that to my wife last night, and she didn't quite
the
get
the carcinogenic coast. Houston. That's what
You
they call
think
it.
Josh is a Texas guy? I
I
don't
feel like
see it.
I feel like
Yeehaw.
he'd do well in Texas. I see it. He looks like a
I think you
Frisco.
do well anywhere.
He looks
Yeah,
like
I
a
don't
Frisco
know
man.
that
This
there's
is
an
where-
What do
area.
I look like? What do I look like?
You look like a Midwestern Chicago guy.
You definitely look like a Chicago guy.
Skokie.
The beard, the sweatpants.
Upper Midwest.
To
yeah.
the point where if I ever see anything Chicago related, I think to myself, I wonder if Matt has been there, has an opinion on this, has thoughts on it.
Oh,
You're
you
just
know he's
taking
got
over
an
the city
opinion.
of Chicago.
I would buy Schaefer as a Minnesotan.
Yeah, that's what I was
million
thinking.
Uh-huh.
a million percent.
Yeah.
The beard,
Mhm.
the hair's still there, but it's going away.
It's
That's a
borderline
very,
Canadian almost.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
I think I could accept
you know what
that.
you have, because I've been up to Minnesota, especially northern Minnesota a ton. They have a lot of you have the rosy cheeks. Like
I
they
do
got
have
a
the
lot.
rosy
They got a
cheeks.
lot of rosy cheeks up
It's
there.
the
in
dry
Minnesota.
air and the beard, and you just have no chance of
And
survival.
the
skin-wise.
drunkenness.
I'll,
They're so drunk.
they are.
They get rosy
Dude,
cheeks.
I'll tell you right now, when I caught my 46-inch muskie, when I caught my 46-inch fish, right, that big old thing, we had about like an hour and a half left on like the fishing trip. We go, nope, packed it up. We went to a bar, and I think I got the drunkest I've ever had. in
Good
my
job
entire
by
life.
you. Good
Like,
job by you.
My brother had to like drive my dad and I home, and he was just like, we were belligerent.
All right, so let's go through a couple cities, and we'll determine if Matt would fit in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we just throwing them out at random?
Yeah.
Nashville.
No. Too many people. Too many people and too hype beasts.
Too many
Too many
people.
jeans. Too many jeans.
Too many jeans.
too many woo girls.
Yeah. I think I would get it's not low. I mean, I
Did
guarantee
you
you that
say too many people?
I love a place that's 80% full.
You don't get to have an opinion on this. This is a where would you fit in? Where would you fit in based on what you are?
Okay. You guys get to decide. I don't think I do well in Nashville.
Schaefer?
I think the version of you that currently exists would flourish in the current version of Nashville, but as you age,
Party guy.
you would hate everything about it and then
Sure.
be anti-Nashville.
Sure.
That would be my
That's a
my
good progression.
analysis of
Yeah.
this.
You
I
move
think-
to some quiet city in the Midwest.
You would love that you're in a city. The part of the charm of Nashville is outside of it. You have all of this awesome geographic stuff. Like you like fishing,
Love
you
fishing.
have access to all of that.
Good
mountain.
point.
You can go to the, I mean, you can just go down to Chattanooga and all of that. Hang out with Brandon Vogel.
The Smokies.
Talk about stats.
Okay, now you've sold me on it.
like
but
basically
then
we're looking
you
for
would get
like
older and you would not like what Nashville is, and you would complain about its, traffic and the tourists
Sure.
and all of the dumb events that they host that cause disruption for everything else.
I think ultimately what we're trying to decide is what pace are you? Like what tempo are you? And
I think
I think you're on the between fast and slow, you shade slow.
but I can pick it up. I can
Yeah.
pick it up.
I think you could put on a costume for
I'm-
a weekend and be a big city boy.
I'm like a Kenyan marathoner. I can last couple miles, I can dial it up to 4.
Could
I
you
can
be
go
in
quick.
Indianapolis where nobody
I-
thinks about you until you're a big event?
I think
I like
I know,
that
that's-
take.
that's
the
right.
When's the
perfect
last time you thought about Indianapolis unless it's hosting
the
something?
perfect description of
Shrimp
Indianapolis.
cocktail.
I've been to Indianapolis multiple times. I
Yeah.
think I would do great there. I think I would enjoy it.
I think
there.
it is the most nondescript city that only has big events, and I never understand why they're
Hotels, Schaefer.
Hotels and Lucas Oil is
Yep.
one of the best venues in America.
Hotels.
And still is. Like it's one of those stadiums that has stood the test of time.
It's like 10 years old.
Still. That's not 10 years old. It wasn't made in it wasn't
Tops 15.
made it was made well before that.
I'm going to say the first year that the Colts played at Lucas Oil Stadium was 2008.
That's still 20 years ago.
It's not. What is it, Josh?
17 years ago.
2008.
Damn.
That's 18 years.
Is that it stood the test of time?
Nowadays,
Happy birthday. It's your 18th birthday. You've stood the test of time.
nowadays with stadiums,
some
of how
people-
often we are closing them down.
Not the Indianapolis of people. They probably don't count for that. But,
That's
the
How do you think
Detroit of people
how do you-
might.
How do you think I do in Boston?
Good. I think you'd like Boston.
You would fit Boston,
Yeah.
I think.
I think I would love Boston.
I think you would do horrible in Denver. I think you would hate Denver.
I think I would,
I actually think you.
I would do terrible.
I think you would hate Denver.
Hiking is not
Everybody's
something.
so fit
Yeah.
and athletic.
Yeah.
And you would just be like, what are these people doing? They try to show me up?
Hiking and weed are just two things I don't do. Those are now the Coors Light can get me in the door, but then the stogie outside would probably shut that down. So no.
Sign me up for Denver 10 out of 10 times. 10 out of
I love
10
Denver.
times.
I love being around people.
It might be my favorite city now, which had previously been Nashville, but I've turned my back on it as I've made the transformation from what an amazing place to do I really want to go there?
I'd rather die.
You know,
Josh hates Denver.
Wow. I went to Denver once and
It's so sunny there. I love the sun.
it's amazing.
Sunny.
Yeah, it's sunny like 300 days a
it
year.
rains.
Josh.
Denver, the sunshine
It
state.
is. Look it up. Look it up.
It rained a lot while I was in Denver.
It's a more moderate climate in Denver than you probably would realize as well.
It's
too.
sunny 300 days a year. That's like their stat. That
I don't know. If I have to like exert so much exercise to enjoy the best parts of your state, just miss me.
I don't think you have to.
You got to climb the mountains. That's a lot of burning
You don't have
calories.
to climb any mountains.
I feel like you
Denver
have
is
to.
famously
We could
below
go to
the
Denver for
mountains.
3 days and you never go into the mountains
Okay.
and you would have an amazing
Oh
time.
no, I did do that in August. I had
Sure.
a great time, but I'm talking about living there. Could I live there for multiple years and
Yes.
never?
You
I
think
mean-
everyone in Denver climbs mountains?
I think I would. Yes, I do. I actually do. I 1,000,000% believe that. I 1,000,000%
I don't
believe
know,
that
man.
if you
This
live in
feels like a
Denver,
bold
question.
you are a mountain climber.
You'd have to deal with a state full of slack-jawed yokels that think they're the quarter zip wine and cheese crowd.
See, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I agree with Schaefer. I think I would do well in Nashville. I think I would do well in Boston.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, I would do, and also I think I would like Indianapolis because of the proximity back to where I grew up.
I was
You
working on something.
You
Did we
strike
just-
me as you could be a Pittsburgh person.
Okay, so
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
just sent me a text that you'd
I
be
don't-
excellent at Pittsburgh, and I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay.
You would be so good at Pittsburgh.
I don't know enough to have
You'd
an
be
opinion.
perfect for Pittsburgh.
You
Perfect
care
for
a lot about sports.
It is-
in
just think about
specific
this.
your team.
It is a dirty, steel
Grimy.
city
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Loves
for
hockey.
big
Loves
piles
hockey.
of meat.
Yeah.
They had to rebuild that stadium after the incident.
Think about a pierogi,
Are you talking about in Batman: The Dark Knight Rises?
That's right, buddy.
Okay.
the gulag.
I mean, I think if we're matching up like Pittsburgh to what my roots are, it's a football team rooted in defense. You know,
Mhm,
it's a
mhm.
hockey town that's
You-
had some of the greatest players of all
The
time.
best. If we were to match you with
You-
cities like Tinder, it'd be Pittsburgh.
This would describe Pittsburgh and you in sort of a way. You would appreciate the aesthetic greatness of Sidney Crosby, but it would be all the rest of the guys that allow him to do what he does.
1,000,000%.
Like
We don't.
that's the Pittsburgh opinion of.
Do we
Sidney
talk
Crosby.
about? Do we talk about Chris Kunitz enough? No, we don't. Do we talk about Chris Letang enough?
We did.
No, we don't.
You already lived there.
Do we
Yeah.
talk about Ben Rust enough? No, we don't.
So we've made Pittsburgh a compelling case. here.
Pittsburgh's number one for me.
I think also too.
You notice these are all basically just sort of in like a line across from where Chicago is.
Yeah.
Interesting. How about Cleveland?
Hell no. Absolutely.
I think you'd do great in Cleveland.
No.
Cleveland's a lot like Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cleveland is very similar.
I think with Pittsburgh too is that
You
I don't
probably haven't been to Cleveland.
I haven't, but I've also grown up hating Cleveland. So I've never had a quarrel with Pittsburgh. That's always been they've always been in a different conference than we are. But like with Pittsburgh, I think that like there's the grind of it, and there's like the toughness of it, and there's all that stuff. But there's definitely like the finer parts of Pittsburgh that I also would enjoy, probably.
Sure, much like Chicago,
Exactly.
but that's not what it's known
So
for.
Pittsburgh is
Every city
is
has
Pittsburgh
an image.
like do people now? This is just me in my youth. I've never really heard people say, "Oh, I went to a great vacation in Pittsburgh."
I have heard never a bad thing about Pittsburgh. To
But
be honest.
I feel like that's not a place that I've
Why would you
heard
go
a
to
lot-
vacation in Pittsburgh?
exactly.
It's
That's
like going to vacation in.
exactly
I don't know.
okay. There you go.
Indianapolis.
Like what? Yes.
Yeah.
When I think of Pittsburgh, I think of like a cold gray day with smokestacks, like the just billowing out. That's what I think.
I want to go to Pittsburgh
And that's you.
because I
You
want
are
to go
the
to the
smoke
baseball
Behind
park.
the smokestack of 1620 the
You're
zone.
smokestack. Yeah.
I was going to say,
Make the graphic.
if we were going to go opposite of you,
That
it's
big smokestack.
It would go
opposite of
west.
you would-
You-
well, yeah, or you could just go to the southeast. Like you are not a Charleston
no,
or a Savannah
No, not a vacation
or
guy.
a
I would do
you're
well. in-
certainly not a Tampa. You're not like
I
colorful.
see. I think because of first off, I have a lot of family.
You're
in
dark
Tampa.
and brooding. You can't be colorful.
People forget he's Cuban.
I think I do well in Florida.
You could do well in a specific part of Florida.
I think I do well in Tampa. I think I would enjoy Tampa. I don't think I don't think I do well in Miami. Like,
Isn't that where the more of the Cubans
Too
are?
Cuban, is that what you're saying?
The actual Cubans would kick him out.
yeah, the actual Cubans would call
All
me
right.
a fake Cuban.
So I just got another
wouldn't do
one.
that. Yeah, go ahead.
So you would do even worse in Havana.
Yes, I'm not. I mean, I don't know. We have a very complicated relationship with our Cuban heritage.
Okay,
Let's just put it that way.
Texter texted me, says New York Matt would hate the city but love Long Island, which I agree with.
Well, I can see that.
as well. You
I
would
think-
love Long Island.
I
Long
think-
Island's basically like Nebraska,
See, if we got rid of the snow, I would love Buffalo.
but
The
You
snow,
can't.
you can't.
you
I
can't.
physically
No,
can't.
you would just straight up love Buffalo.
You think I would just love Buffalo?
You would be great in Buffalo. But
You would be great.
Said no one ever.
you'd be great.
No one's ever said that to any human.
It's like telling a comedian that he can't play in a bigger city, but you're killing Buffalo.
No, Buffalo's like a top 50 market,
You're
right?
a
You would
B.
kill in Buffalo.
You're a B plus. That's a good little spot for you, Daniel. It's a good little spot. Buffalo's
What's
good for
Buffalo's
you.
media market rank?
You can't play the Copa, but you killing
You'd
Buffalo.
killing in Buffalo.
It's got to be in the. It's
Did
got to
you
be in
say
the
you can't
30s
play
or
at the
40s.
Copa?
Yeah.
Way better than
Loading.
Omaha. You do
Like,
great.
The cattle.
54.
54.
It's-
That's like 20 spots better than Omaha.
Are you
do
trying
great.
to? I'm not trying to leave here for better markets.
Just saying, you'd
Why
be
not?
great there.
Not currently.
You're not
I
trying
had
to
a
get
running
better.
joke with Josh Peterson that like his next stop would be in Wichita, like that would be where he's going.
Dude, Josh would.
And he was just
He did not appreciate
Yeah,
that
it was-
joke at all.
it went well.
He did not laugh at that. That was not a ha funny joke.
And when I say joke, it was a joke on my end, and he was just
And he
annoyed
didn't-
anytime I
yeah.
would work that into
don't
things.
like
he,
this anymore.
he would sometimes Josh will look at you and then purposely look away so he can give you a side eye. It's like yeah. That's what he'll do. He probably gave you that.
Or he'll
right?
give you a really loud ha, and then it'll end, and he'll just
Ha!
kind of stare at you.
I don't know. Josh will sometimes fake laugh for sure, but it's not a fake laugh. It's like ha. He like purposely puts his head up.
All I'm thinking about
Like
is this is a new fun way to answer this question. Like, what would be the next place that you would do if you were looking to leave? What would be the next place that you would want to do sports radio in?
Chicago
So-
Matt's going to Chicago.
Assumingly it is a step up, but not like so big of a step. You could
Mhm.
theoretically go from Omaha to Chicago, but let's just say there had to be another intermediate step.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
But I would
You
have
think
to.
you could do it
No.
in Mahomes country?
I would
I don't
have-
really think of you as Kansas City, particularly with that Jalen Hurts conversation.
I would have
from
to-
They
this
like
summer.
whiskey
I would have to.
and barbecue
Mm.
meat.
I would have to learn. Like I would have to learn a lot. Like go back and make sure that I can keep up with.
Can you hack it in Des
history.
Moines?
Des Moines is
Um,
a step up media market.
I could. Well, here's the
Des
problem.
Moines
Like
Met.
the actual proper answer to this question is it's a good answer, but I don't think it would ever happen. But it'd be Milwaukee.
Oh, Milwaukee.
Like it would be
I was thinking
because
St. Louis.
no.
Chicago guy couldn't do it in
I-
St. Louis.
I know that's
Yeah.
what
They
They
wouldn't be able to
accept them.
hide
that's
it.
what makes it fun to me.
But that's the thing. Same thing about Milwaukee. I wouldn't be able to hide in Milwaukee. But if we're talking about like a city that I know the best outside of here in Chicago, and like teams that I know the best outside of Nebraska and Chicago, then it would probably be Milwaukee.
You have an enhanced sense of Milwaukee.
Well, it's just you grow up like the Packers were the next. If the Bears weren't playing, or there was the Packers that you had to watch, or it's like I would go to Brewers games growing up, or
Big Bud Selig guy.
Oh,
What
Also,
about
like-
Columbus?
I tried getting a job out in Columbus. Ohio.
Hockey only market, except for the
Wow.
Buckeyes, I guess.
But also Ohio State. I could probably, Columbus actually would probably be a good.
What are they
Columbus
ranked?
is an incredibly
35.
boring million.
I want to make it
person
very
city.
clear though, right now. I am not looking to leave Omaha.
Okay,
in
do the
any-
same question for me.
Okay, what's the
Where
same
would I
question
go?
for you? Where
I-
would you go?
I mean, once again, not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's far too late for
Obviously,
that at this
Kansas
point.
City.
Kansas City, I would rock it in Kansas City.
You
What do
would
mean
rock
too
it.
late.
I guess it's not too late. I could go
I
anywhere at any time.
I think it's pretty
I
obvious.
put down some roots.
He's down in Charlotte, where he's doing a Hornets pregame show and talking about Ryan Kalkbrenner, and then he's doing
I-
Panthers stuff.
I actually could
I know
do.
about
he
North
knows
Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
I actually could do Pittsburgh. I for sure could do Pittsburgh.
27.
No, because I know a lot.
Oh,
Why are
Charlotte,
you
28.
laughing? Why is that so funny to you? Why is that so funny?
We moved on to Happer, and you turned it back to you.
You know what?
City that we
Pittsburgh
talked
would
about
work.
6
Pittsburgh. I don't
minutes
care.
ago.
I don't care about Happer.
We've
Pittsburgh.
learned.
Continue.
No, that's fine. I don't care. Charlotte is great. Charlotte, I would rock Charlotte.
You would just be
Me and Greg in Myrtle Beach would just be chilling, trading
yeah.
information all day long. He'd be telling me stuff about Charlotte things, and I'd be like, "Thank you, Greg in Myrtle Beach. I believe you."
Charlotte.
He's got all the Charlotte stuff on lock.
What? You're just Minneapolis.
Probably. Or like I think
That's a good
any of the
spot.
Midwestern cities would work.
What's Boise's market ranking?
Oh, good question. Let's see.
Been there.
Could you do Boise? Are you a Kellen Moore guy?
No, I think Schaefer's
98.
it's stepped
I
down.
know.
He's already in Omaha.
I'm going backwards, guys.
You can't go back.
Getting
Going
sent,
backwards.
getting
We
sent
don't-
down to Double-A Boise.
I don't think we have anybody who works here who'd be like a good fit for San Diego or any of the coastal like.
You don't think Peterson could?
No.
No.
No, I think he's more. He's
Dallas.
Portland. He's
He
Portland.
has to be somewhere where
He's
football is.
Seattle.
If we see Seattle, he would do
You
Seattle.
would, you
good.
would do Seattle.
I think he needs to be somewhere where football, like he's more likely to be in Tuscaloosa. Like, he needs college football to be king or
Ooh.
football to just be the driver.
We should just send Josh to
He
Eugene.
needs somewhere where he's not going to have to talk baseball.
Wouldn't Josh love that if we sent him out to Eugene and so he could cover Dylan Raiola?
Seattle most of the time is that. The Mariners mostly don't matter.
What matters more, Washington football or the Mariners?
The Mariners,
Yeah.
especially because they were legitimately in
But they also have that
LCS final.
Team that just won the Super Bowl, which
Right.
you would like.
Well, also,
mean,
Washington was just in the national
I think there's a
championship.
chance that the favorite teams out there would be like the Seahawks by a clear and wide margin,
Yeah.
the no longer existing Sonics, and then the
Kraken.
Mariners, and then everything else.
The Kraken.
Cracking.
Crack
All
wagon.
aboard the crack wagon.
Seattle's one of those cities where like people
Oh,
don't care about Washington because it didn't grow up.
I
there.
know the answer to my question.
Mhm.
It'd be Vegas.
For Josh?
For you?
For me. It'd be Vegas.
No, I don't think so.
Number
Really?
40.
Nope.
Market 40.
You would love talking
I think you
about
wouldn't. It's not that you wouldn't enjoy it. I don't think that you fit the archetype of like
Vegas is way more of a local town than you get than you think
And
about
it's
it. Like
massively
you could do a,
superficial and the
Yeah.
media people that are there.
you
and-
could do like a betting show. You would do a
I-
betting.
you know
Again,
what? I-
Vegas is bright and colorful, and you're more brooding.
Here's the thing. Thank you.
Well, I
Thank
mean,
you.
it's true.
Matt McBrood.
You like a gray cement building.
You're a smokestack.
That's why I work so well
You're
in Omaha.
Matt McSmokestack.
Remember when Karen tweeted out that picture when it looked like Russia and
So-
Omaha? That's you.
Matt, where would you host next before, maybe you want to go back home to Chicago? Moscow.
There we go.
I want to get into the hockey.
Hey, what's St. Petersburg's Nielsen rating, Josh?
Who wants to go to Leningrad?
Is that actually a step down?
This is good. Those are good.
I think
possible
you're going to
results
have to
for you.
work in some of the Eastern Bloc European countries before you get to Moscow.
This Omaha might be your maximum sunshine possibility.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God,
Like,
that's depressing.
Omaha gets probably about 50-50
Wow.
sunshine. Like you need to
Yes.
go to a darker, grayer place.
Is that where I need to go? Matt McMaster
This
does
might
better
be-
with there's less
this might be the
sunshine.
most tropical city you ever will live in.
See, I don't want to think of that. I don't want to think of that.
I'm kind of on board with this.
I need to go where there's less light, is what
Well,
you're saying.
no. It comes back to like everything you wear is largely dark in color.
That is
Your
true.
features are darker.
Yeah.
You tend to be a little bit more
Dark.
introverted, emo-ish.
I did disagree with that. I think I'm an extrovert.
Well, introverted might not be the right way to introspective, emo-ish. How about that?
I think the person we also have to go off.
You do
of-
beat yourself up a little bit.
okay, but okay, gentlemen, you two know me on a like outside the radio, like personal level.
Uh-huh.
Like on the radio, I'm not really like that at all. Like, so we have to match the radio personality.
Yeah, but you still live in the city.
Yeah, I
I think
know.
we're matching the personality. That's what I'm trying to
I would.
And we've settled on smokestacks and great clouds.
St. Petersburg is a major hub for media in Russia, with Channel 5 Petersburg based there and owned partly by the National Media
do. You
Group.
could do state-run media.
Yeah,
in
how do you
Russia.
feel about
how do
this?
they feel
Matt
about
McCommunist.
how do they feel about Northwestern basketball?
They have no opinions.
Yeah.
They don't know. they
Exactly.
exist.
Could
Get
you
ready
be
to-
outside of the Big Ten footprint?
Get
Like
ready to
that?
learn. Get ready to learn Scotty Lindsey, Putin.
There's not too many.
Maybe you're gonna have to be in Baltimore to have some connection to Maryland.
No,
to stay
I'm
in the
okay.
Big Ten.
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Baltimore or Pittsburgh.
You wouldn't fit.
Veto Baltimore. I'm okay. Totally fine.
I guess Pittsburgh has Penn State, so that works.
DC
Or Pitt. I could be ACC, Matt.
I mean
We already have an ACC, Matt Schick.
I applied to be the beat writer at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette in like 2016.
How did that work out for you?
I was too qualified.
Okay.
Basically, it was a polite
Whoa.
way of saying we're not going to pay.
You that much?
Yeah, like what you're going to ask for is not.
Did
the
you come in
range of-
second? Did they tell you?
No,
Hey,
I
Mike,
didn't.
you
There was
came in
no-
second.
There was
Didn't
just
they-
like an email, like, "Hey, this is more of an entry level beat writer position."
Didn't that paper shut down or something?
Might be part of why they weren't looking to hire someone
Interesting.
with experience.
I think you could just say that about most papers, and unfortunately, very unfortunately, we could probably say yes.
Many papers.
That was the last time I applied for a job with a newspaper.
10 years ago?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Schaefer could
Wow.
not see the writing on the wall for the
I-
newspaper
He,
industry.
he totally saw the writing on the wall.
2016 was there was a lot of introspection, and I thought I needed to just get out of the business and what I was doing currently. You go 3 years without a raise, it does that to you.
That is true. I'm
Must-Watch
I'm
Network.
trying to think of more. I don't know. I feel like
I think we have it pretty well.
Yeah, we got
like,
you.
we got
Yeah.
me. But I just want to make it very clear. I love Omaha. I do.
You should only only about
Nobody's
150 days
saying
of
that these
sunlight.
opportunities exist. It's just a hypothetical.
I know, but it would take a lot. For
I'm
me
still
to
fixated on Josh
leave
Hodgson.
Omaha.
Like what?
I don't
why
know.
he
I
hates
have no
Denver
idea.
so much.
He's a bit of a chameleon. He's always hated Colorado.
Okay.
Josh's wife commented earlier.
She's at home not working.
Josh is a Texas guy. Absolutely not. Divorce.
Great take, wifey.
I don't know what it would be. You'd probably, if you were to move in a direction, my direction
Arkansas.
for you would no. I think it would be north. I think it would be
North. Okay.
Yeah. Or
Minneapolis?
potentially east.
Josh and I should just move together to Brainerd, Minnesota.
Brainerd.
How about
I
Cincinnati?
don't know.
What do you
There's
think
nothing
about
about Josh that makes me think of like foots of snow, feet feet of snow, and just like I don't know. It doesn't seem like he cares about hockey or.
He likes hockey.
I like hockey. I would not like to cover it. I'm not
Sure.
smart enough. I don't.
Right.
I don't.
Oh, we
know
can
enough
teach
about
you.
it. Okay.
We can, yeah.
What do you think about Cincinnati?
Wow, that's a good one.
I'm not gonna do Skyline Chili, but
Skyline Chili
I
has a
mean-
bad rep here that it doesn't deserve. But anyways, continue.
I mean,
What do you think about Lexington, Kentucky?
He
I
doesn't
feel
think
like
about
I'd
it
get
at
in trouble
all.
for making fun of the people.
Okay.
Not
That's-
enough teeth.
I wouldn't be able to
Cincinnati
stop myself.
is
I
going
have
to
teeth.
be. Cincinnati is very similar to that because it's effectively like the
Of
Kentucky
Ohio?
version of Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. But I'm thinking like
Hmm.
Xavier, not like
Okay.
Ohio.
On,
Right.
on the scale of Bengals to Xavier, what are we thinking?
Now, do you think Xavier
Reds.
takes a lot of the same crap Creighton takes
About what?
from the citizens of Cincinnati?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Amy,
definitely.
Amy has waited. I have a
It's probably
distaste.
more because you have Ohio State, which has a disdain for them,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and then Cincinnati, which would have a disdain for them, and then whatever regional,
The
things
whole
would
state
pop
is looking
up.
at Cincinnati and they're saying, "What are these guys doing?"
So Amy
From what
writes.
I understand, the rest of Ohio doesn't like Cincinnati.
yeah,
Huh.
that's
and
that's
counts
what-
it as part of Kentucky.
Interesting.
the rest of the state doesn't like Omaha. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, my
There's just
my,
a lot more happening in that state than there is outside.
That's
of,
true.
my
There's
brother,
a little bit of a different.
my brother and his wife and my niece all live in Dayton, Ohio, and that's
They probably hate Cincinnati.
New city for Matt, Toledo.
Yeah, you'd be a Toledo.
I
guy.
don't want to be in Ohio.
You'd be doing
My dad-
play-by-play for the Mud Hens.
Toledo. Detroit, we
Mhm.
haven't mentioned. I don't know how you'd fit with Detroit.
I don't think I do.
It does have the smokestacks and the
And the
gray skies.
Amy weighs in. She goes, "I have a distaste for Ohio. People call that the Midwest, and it makes me irrationally angry."
Mm.
I think
Agree.
that's fair.
Jacob Bigelow writes in, "Give me McMaster hosting the Richard Pitino coaches show."
Yeah, for sure. You guys would get along great, actually.
Would we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Alrighty, that's the
Concerning
crossover.
sentence.
The Patinos are a great hang.
I know you've told me.
I don't accept that the Sun would be a great hang.
I don't know. That guy looks like he likes old
That guy
fashions.
is almost as big of an asshole as I have
Whoa!
ever.
Well, you
Can
can't
we say that?
No, dump that.
Sorry.
Dump that. Dump that. We can't
Sorry.
say
He
that.
got fired up about a Patino.
We
It's okay.
crowdsourced it. We got there.
My bad.
Like,
I
don't
hope
know.
he gets shamed for how I got shamed when I called Zach Hampel.
I went one
Guy
step
on the morning
too
show.
far.
Guy on the morning show swears. It happens all the time.
It's the chair. It's the chair.
That's the crossover, powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Middays with Matt is up next.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
That's an absolutely horse crap call. Make room for Daddy. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Chicago is.
This is Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
We are live here on I was going to say beautiful, but actually kind of gloomy and cold Thursday. Bye-bye to false spring. Gone but never forgotten. We'll see you in a year. We'll see you in a year. Around this time, as always, everybody knows, February brings us those magical 12 days where, for whatever reason, it's 55 to, at times, 71 degrees. You can go golfing and hit the range and take walks and maybe take a surprise visit to the zoo until slap. Puxatawny Phil tells you, no, buddy. We got 6 more weeks of winter. We are back into the groove of things. Winter 2, welcome. Here we are, 29 degrees here in the metro on a not very sunny Thursday morning that will turn into an afternoon. We'll be here until 2 o'clock on 1620 The Zone. It's Middays with Matt. I'm Matt McMaster, joined by Josh Odson. Josh, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I don't want the snow to come.
Neither do I.
I liked the previous forecast better where it was a dusting.
I believe we're on a winter storm warning from 12 p.m. to into the next day, if I'm not mistaken.
Tomorrow morning at some
point. At 6 a.m. We will be on winter storm watch. So if you don't have your salt bags, maybe go head over to your local department store. Go ahead. Not department store, your local Home Depot or Lowe's or Menards, wherever there might have salt. Maybe if you need some, when you make a fire, do you use starter logs or are you like old school? We don't use starter logs around here.
What do you think I am?
I think you use starter logs.
I don't make fires.
Oh, you don't? Why? You have teeth though.
I do have teeth.
That's your joke. Every time you don't do something, you go, I have teeth.
That's right.
Why don't you make fires? Fires are great.
What do I have a need to make a fire for? It
warms up the house. It's nice and cozy.
I have central heating and air.
I wish we had like a heating and air sponsor that I could just seamlessly fit in there. By the way, we are taking all callers at this point. Plaquette goes, does Shields have salt, Matt? I don't know, PC. I have not looked around and seen if they do have salt. But anyway, go ahead, get your hot cocoa packets. Go ahead and get your salt, get your starter logs. Get ready for the snow that is going to hit the metro today and for the next about 18 hours or so. So we will keep you here nice and cozy until your fire keeps you nice and cozy. Make a fire. Fires are great. For when they're in a controlled environment and they're keeping your house warm, fires are great.
Okay, good.
Well, you were making that look at me as if I had to make a qualifier.
Yeah, you did good.
Thank you. I always try and do good. You did great yesterday. We had Big E on yesterday and radio replay. Go ahead and listen to that interview. Phenomenal interview. I was a celebrity for the entirety of the day with my friends because I interviewed a former WWE champion.
Hello.
Everybody
I'm happy I could do that for you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing a lot for me. We're going to do a lot for you today. We're going to entertain you to the best of our abilities, give you an updates on what's going around in the world of sports, both locally and nationally. We have a great lineup for you today as well. At 11 o'clock, we will be joined by the one, the only Stephen M. Sipple from Husker Online on 3 and 93.7 The Ticket. And at 1:15 from KETV, Andy Kendy will go ahead and join our show, giving you an update on everything that he's covering in and around the metro. I know state wrestling is taking place this weekend, so I'm sure we'll hear plenty of updates from AK all about that. I'm sure we might hear some updates on a certain Kansas basketball player that Josh and I are going to talk plenty about today. Darryn Peterson, the saga continues. Even after Kansas's win yesterday, I'm not going to call it a big win, but win yesterday over Oklahoma State, all anybody can talk about is Darryn Peterson scoring 23 points in 18 minutes of play for the Jayhawks after he put on a phenomenal first half, and then he hit a three in the third quarter with roughly 17:30 left to go in the game, tapped his coach, and sat out the rest of the half. So Darren Peterson and the ongoing controversy of whether or not he actually likes to play basketball, regardless of the fact that he is one of the best pure scorers we've seen come out of college in quite some time. We will have that conversation and the questions that NBA teams should be asking themselves. I can't believe I led off with Darren Peterson without asking you, Josh Hodson. You have something to say?
Do I have something to say?
Do you have something to apologize about, in your opinion?
I'm sorry for the things I'm going to say about Darren Peterson during this show.
No. Because there's a certain team yesterday that if I'm not mistaken, they were canceled by one Josh Hodson. And yet they went on the road to Storrs, Connecticut in Gamble Pavilion on a Mecca Okafor night, on $2 beer night, days after being called out by their head coach, Dan Hurley. That crowd did everything they possibly could to will UConn to a victory over the Creighton Blue Jays, but Greg McDermott and the boys said, no. Blue Jay basketball with a massive upset that had the nation stirring yesterday, 15.5-point underdogs. It was the largest point spread as an underdog Creighton has had since 1996. They go ahead on the road, defeat number 5 rated UConn in a phenomenal game. We will talk all about it. Obviously, still joking with Josh. Josh, they're not uncanceled.
Oh no, you don't get uncanceled.
You don't get you don't?
Teams often do go on winning streaks after I canceled them. That's just a statistical anomaly. I believe if we continue doing this for 20 years, it will bear out that I am correct.
Okay. But as of right now,
the data is probably against me. Yes.
Great win for Creighton yesterday. We'll talk all about it. Some phenomenal storylines that came from that win. Fedor Zugic starting for the first time in his career, dropped a career high 14 points, along with Josh Dixon. Everything that young man has gone through over the last couple of weeks with the passing of his mother, Kelly, and just the fight and maturity and just, how this group has battled through a lot of emotional things on and off the court. They came together in the most spectacular way against one of the best teams in the country in a very hostile environment and played, by far their best game of the season. And you bring up Dick specifically because he was the alpha/leader of the team, 21 points leading scorer for the Blue Jays yesterday. So we will talk about all of that.
Very quickly.
Go ahead.
Before we move on off of this exact subject, because I know we're on in all the Wawas in the central Connecticut area. Shout out to Connecticut for having a moment of silence for Josh's mom.
Very, very great.
Very classy, very above, as Greg McDermott said, above and beyond for a program to do that for an opponent's player.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up, Josh. And so we will talk about that game and just impressive stuff, man. Like, I understand that Creighton has not had the season anyone expected them to have. And frankly, this season has been incredibly disappointing for the Blue Jays. I mean, this is a team that came into the year ranked in the preseason, 23rd team in the country, a team that people expected to be at the top of the heap of the Big East, and not only just be in the NCAA tournament, but be competing for, one of the higher seeds in the NCAA tournament. And they just had not lived up to those expectations all season long. But yesterday, put together a complete 40-minute performance to defeat one of the best teams in the country. So super impressive stuff from the Blue Jays. We will talk all about that game and more throughout the entirety of the show. We'll also give you just a quick recap on a very exciting night in college basketball. Yesterday, double overtime in Tuscaloosa had everybody buzzing. A phenomenal game between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
It got yours truly to tune in.
I think I tuned in at overtime, and we were doing Blue Jay overtime, and I was kind of peering back and forth. Then it went to double OT, and it actually came down to a final shot as
Should
well.
have went to triple overtime,
Seriously,
probably.
if we're being honest. So one heck of a game in the SEC, which, we talk about the Big 12 and them being a great basketball conference, but, you can always count on the SEC conference play giving you thrillers week in and week out. That one was that yesterday. Pat Stewart, probably the least talked about, most important person not only in the football department, but probably the entire athletic department. He spoke yesterday on Husker Sports Radio with Kyle Crooks. He gave us a lot of insights in terms of what they were looking for and how they approach the transfer portal, what they like in some guys that they got, what were they prioritizing when they went into the transfer portal, what did some of the evaluation process look like for Husker football. So a lot of great insights from the GM of Nebraska football, which is a crazy sentence to say.
And the CEO of Nebraska football currently speaking in Lincoln. So we'll read you some
Maddie
clips.
Rule's talking.
That's right. How about this? Let me give you a nugget now. Just
Give me one
just
nugget.
to give you a little something. Afternoon practice team. They used to be a morning team. Now they're an afternoon practice team.
Was there supposed to be a reaction
Yeah.
to that?
You're Maddie McTakes. What's your take? Afternoon practice.
I have no take. I don't care. They could practice at 2:00 in the morning as long as they know how to tackle. come game
Interesting,
time.
because I'm having
I
to
don't
read
care.
it from every single person that's in the room as if it were a big deal. They can't hear me right now, so I can talk crap about them.
I don't. Okay. Unless they're okay. I'm going to be real with you, Josh.
Be real.
I didn't play football, so, and I'm not going to pretend as if I know that there's this massive deal between morning practice and afternoon practice. So if there's like a former football player out there who would like to explain to me why that might be a big deal, I'm all ears. But currently, right now, I okay.
Reavers are a morning practice team. They won a national championship.
Good for them. Pat Stewart talked yesterday on Husker Sports Radio Network. We'll talk all about that. Obviously, too, if we get any big nuggets from Matt Rule and his
Whoa,
presser.
you don't think that was big?
I don't, unless somebody tells me why it would be a big deal. I don't see as to why it would be a big deal.
Oh, I actually have an answer for you.
Oh,
on
go
that.
ahead. Go ahead.
When asked about moving practice, Matt Rule said, this is from Sam McEwen, by the way. Old school. Rule said, practice ending at 6:30. Rule said he researched college football playoff teams, especially in northern climates, and found a lot of afternoon practices.
Okay, you know what? I'm cool with it. I'm actually a fan of him doing research and maybe tweaking a very small thing that might potentially give them an advantage. I'm cool with that. If you put it that way, I mean, that's what I was saying. If you can't just tell me, hey, we're moving it to morning to afternoon, and I'm immediately going to know what the,
I'm tired of waking up at 5 a.m., so we're practicing in the afternoon.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I mean, when you explain it that way, I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, I actually do kind of respect it. Like, if that's true and you properly do the research to be like, hey, what are other teams doing? You're taking those steps. That's a very easy way for me to be like, okay, cool, man. Great. If it works, it works. Am I going to? I'll say this right now. If they go ahead and they beat Michigan State on the road, I'm not going to say, man, you got to give them credit for practicing in the afternoon, But okay, cool. We'll talk about college basketball. We'll talk about Darryn Peterson. We'll talk about Pat Stewart, Creighton basketball, massive upset win yesterday. I have an issue with the Olympics, and particularly how we decide overtime knockout hockey games in the Olympics. I'm gonna bitch and moan and complain. And maybe it's not a topic a ton of people care about, but it'll only be 4 minutes. We're all going to have to listen to it. Okay. Because 3-on-3 overtime hockey to decide who advances in the Olympics might be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And I don't care if you think 3-on-3 hockey is more entertaining. It's not the point. Okay.
There's so much more space on the ice.
Stop. It's not the point.
Everybody's moving faster.
The point is not for it to be fun.
Less bodies in the way. That puck can just sail into the goal.
The Bears might actually be moving to Indiana. We'll get some more updates on that as we go throughout the show, and I'll tell you. Stop it. It'd be Hampton, Indiana, which would be it'd be on the border of. Hey, if you call them the Indiana Bears, I'm cool with that as long as you call them the New Jersey Jets and the New Jersey.
Okay.
Giants. Okay.
A lot of teams do this.
Not
what Matt's saying.
Go out of state. Not a lot of teams. Only 2. And honestly, it kind of makes sense for them. Can you imagine having a stadium in like Manhattan, New York? Do you know how much of a pain in the ass that would be?
Incredibly.
Yeah. Almost as big of a pain in the ass as having it in downtown Chicago.
Okay, I see your point.
So we'll talk about all that and more. Pat Stewart, Darryn Peterson, Husker football, Creighton basketball, the Chicago Bears, the Olympic hockey, the women play in the gold medal game today at 12:10 against the Canadians. Did we have a breakup between two players on the Canadian team and the USA team? That's the rumor going around. That there were
what?
That there was a relationship. That's the rumor. That there was a relationship happening on the Canadian USA team.
Does this heated rivalry come to life?
Kind of. But they've broken up before the big game. So also Jordan Stoltz, the stud speed skater, is about to go ahead compete in the men's 1500 meter. We just actually a Chinese speed skater just set the Olympic record in the 1500 meter. So this should be incredibly entertaining here. So all of that and more. We have a great show ahead of you. Myself, Matt McMaster, along with Josh Otson on Middays with Matt. Coming up next, we recap what happened last night and a fun night of college basketball here on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
What a weird night in the Big East yesterday. Obviously, Creighton goes ahead and defeats UConn on the road. They were a 15.5-point underdog. The Jays, with their best performance of the season, knocks off the number 5 team in the country. Josh Dix had 21 points along with Nick Graves with 18, and Fedor Zugic had 14 points. And then you got to shout out Blake Harper, too, 12 points in the last 8 minutes of the game, the only 8 minutes he played the entire game. But then we had some interesting results, across the Big East that actually helped out Creighton big time. DePaul being Seton Hall. I mean, Chris Holtman has very quickly turned around that DePaul program, not to the point where they're great or anything like that, or competing for an NCAA tournament bid this season, but still 14-12, 6-9 in the Big East. I mean, DePaul basketball is the last decade very rarely has gotten over 5 wins in Big East play. So Holtman has the Blue Demons going in the right direction, as after yesterday's loss, Seton Hall, who is 18-9 but 8-8 in Big East standings, just has not done well enough in conference play, and at this point is very, if not already, kind of out at the at-large picture. And so you're kind of only looking at 3 teams for sure that would end up getting in from the Big East. That would be St. John's, UConn, and Villanova. And after Creighton's loss yesterday, I think Houston and Kelvin Sampson probably have to write a thank you note to Mr. Greg McDermott, as Houston will more than likely take over that 1 seed spot over UConn. So UConn, after yesterday's loss on the road, probably going to drop down to a 2, along with teams like Iowa State, Illinois, Purdue, Florida, kind of in that combo. Nebraska on Bracket Matrix, which was updated yesterday, currently a 3 seed. They're the 3rd 3 seed in front of Texas Tech, but behind Kansas. Gonzaga is the top 4 seed, knocking on the door to potentially take over a 3 seed spot, maybe over Tech or Nebraska. Texas Tech, it was announced yesterday, a terrible loss for that team. JT Toppin, one of the best players, not only on the Red Raiders roster, but also in the country, out for the season with an ACL tear. Toppin, just an incredible basketball player, and a guy who definitely had a future past college basketball. Hope that he can swiftly recover and get back to being the player that he was, because the player that he was at Texas Tech is one of not only the best teams in the Big 12, but competing as one of the better teams in the country. Behind Gonzaga on Bracket Matrix is Vanderbilt. They dropped a nail biter yesterday to Mizzou. 81-80 is the score. Missouri turnover on the last inbound gave Vanderbilt a chance at the buzzer beater to win that game, but it did not go in. So Missouri now, they have 18 or 19 wins on the season due to the Tigers. And so currently, so here they are an 11 seed. So very much on the bubble is Missouri. But this was yesterday on Bracket Matrix. So that big win against Vanderbilt, a ranked opponent, definitely going to do wonders for the Tigers, potentially.
18 wins.
Getting into the NCAA tournament. Auburn suffered a really bad loss yesterday to Mississippi State. Oklahoma, our dog of the day, got blown out by 23.
Oh, no.
So much for Porter and the boys turning things around. We go to, by the way, want to give a West Coast Conference shout out here. St. Mary's got taken to the brink yesterday against Seattle. I know we talk a lot when it comes
Pilots?
when it comes to the WCC, we talk a ton about Gonzaga, but St. Mary's has performed to the point where they have firmly been an at-large bid contender. They're currently a 9 seed. That almost took a massive hit yesterday with a loss to Seattle, but they go on a 7-3 late run to win that game. So there's a ton of basketball that occurred yesterday, but kind of the high notes to take account of here. Big win for Arizona over BYU. Both Koa Pete for Arizona and Richie Saunders for BYU were out for that game, but Arizona just had more firepower than BYU did, and I think that's probably going to be a thing for BYU now that Saunders is out for the season. AJ Dybanska had, I think, let's see here, he had 35 points, but he had to take 28 shots to do that. So, and also too the double overtime thriller that happened in Tuscaloosa that saw Alabama victorious over Arkansas. Just a phenomenal game. You also want to keep a note of this. Nate Musselman, when he went to USC, from Arkansas, big deal. And a lot of people thought that USC would quickly get everything turned around and heading in the right direction. And don't get me wrong, it's not as if USC is having a terrible year. They're at this point mocked to get into the NCAA tournament as a 10 seed, but they still have work to do over there at the University of Southern California. They're currently 18-8, 7-8 in the Big Ten, and they have to have a good results down the stretch, or they very well can play themselves out of the tournament. They're kind of in the situation that Nebraska basketball was in last year, kind of teetering around that 500 mark in Big Ten play. But Illinois, man, Boswell's back, and they're finding their stride. 101-65 was the score yesterday. Andrei Stojakovic had 22 points, but the Illini had 7 players in double figures, showing that, we talk a ton about depth. Does, Nebraska basketball, if they're going to go ahead and make a big run in the NCAA tournament, do they need more depth? Do they need more contributions from guys like Leo Curtis and more contributions from guys like Jared Garcia? You want to talk about a team with depth? Illinois has it in spades. Stojakovic, Mirkovic, Ivasic ×2, Boswell, Wagler, Humerkaus, Jake Davis. The list goes on. I mean, that's a team with a lot of really big physical players who all have offensive abilities. So big win yesterday for the Illini. That's your college basketball update as we get closer and closer to conference tournaments and closer to the beautiful month of March, where we're here on 1620 The Zone. We will have full coverage of the NCAA tournament, Josh Hodson. So
that's right. People forget.
People often do forget. Do you know what people don't forget? When Steve Sipple is going to join the show. That comes up next here on Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Alrighty. This is one of the a learning experience here, if you will, where press conferences are going on. And I probably should have known better that Steve Sipple will be at those press conferences and covering those press conferences. So
That's what he does.
He will not be here right now. We are working with Sip to get him on the horn at some point so we can talk to him.
Got to tweet about what time practice is.
Here's a quote from Evan Bland, our friend, who comes and talks about baseball throughout the year with us.
He does.
He goes, Nebraska OC Dana Holgorsen on the quarterbacks. Should I do my Dana impression? I don't have one.
Oh, you don't have one? Okay.
No, that's a confident room right now. It's a completely different room, but it's a confident room too. It all starts with Anthony, and we brought him here for a reason. I feel like I got the cadence down.
Okay.
So basically, it was funny yesterday. So Pat Stewart talked with Kyle Crooks of Husker Sports Radio, the Husker Radio Network. My apologies. Pat Stewart definitely one of the guys that is integral to the operation of Nebraska football. I mean, he is the guy who is making a lot of personnel and evaluation and money decisions for this team. But he's definitely one of the guys that we don't talk a ton about because he's not consistently at the podium, and throughout the entirety of the season, he really only does his work. We only really see his fruit, the fruits of his labor come to bear like during a 14-day period, essentially, right? With the evaluations and acquiring of people in the portal. But he's incredibly important to what they do. And he is the general manager of a program that now basically operates in what we call NFL Light, where you have to make money decisions and evaluation decisions. And he's a dude who is incredibly influential in that case. And so he talked yesterday, and I took a interest to what he had to say. And one of the things that he did say, and, Kyle Crooks obviously had to ask him, is this a quarterback competition? What is that going to look like? And Pat Stewart said, well, we're going to have a competition at all the positions, which is, let's just call a spade, very company answer, right? I mean, he's not the coach. He's not the OC. He's not going to tell Kyle, no, Anthony is our starting quarterback. That's not his story to tell. Okay. That's not his place. But the way that he talked about Anthony before he answered that question, right? He was talking about Anthony's experience. He's like, we love that Anthony has playing experience, that he played at Virginia, that he played at UNLV. We love the fact that he can take a big hit in the pocket, get back up and call a play. We know that he can do that. We love Anthony's skill set in terms of the fact that he has, multiplicity and, all the different skills that he has can add to the repertoire on what he can do. And he said this, adds to the repertoire of what we can use on game day. Okay. And then he said, well, it's all the positions are a competition. So basically he's communicating to you, yeah, we're going to have a QB competition, but we very much brought this guy in to be the starter, right? That's kind of the reading between the lines of that. And then now Dana Holgorsen taking this Evan Bland quote. That's a confident room right now. It's a completely different room, but it's a confident room too. Key part here, it all starts with Anthony. We brought him here for a reason. So this is it is the nicest and simplest and non-controversial way to say, yeah, it's a competition, but it's not really a competition. And I think we've kind of known that a little bit, but those kind of quotes.
Feel free to try and wow us.
I mean, look, if TJ Lateef goes out there and he's made insane strides and he looks like the second coming of Johnny Manziel, you got to, trust that, okay, actually TJ has just done so many things differently that we didn't anticipate he would do. Yeah, he's the starter. That's in the air, but you don't bring in a guy with Calandria's skill set and the things that Calandria was able to produce and able to do at UNLV with the thought of, oh, he very well could not play. He has the inside track, as we would like to say in the horse racing world. And I think we kind of put 2 and 2 together when he was brought in to Nebraska, and you can kind of put 2 and 2 together in terms of what's been said about him. But that's something that came out of Dana Holgerson's press conference today. Matt Rule also talked about Dana in his presser. He said at one point that he wants Dana to call the offense fearlessly next season.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
Go ahead and do that.
My question would be, was he fearful last year? And why?
Yeah.
I don't know if that question was answered. But it is what it is. This is from Steve Merrick, good friend of ours. Rule said he wants OC Dana Holgerson to be able to call the game fearlessly. Rule continued, we have to learn from the past, but not live in the past. Once again, I would just personally like to know, and by the way, I totally agree with that statement. I would like Dana Holgerson to call the plays fearlessly as well. I would just ask. My additional question would be like, was he calling the game fearfully last year and why?
I would like that follow-up answered as well.
I just think that's a fair question to answer, because when you say, I want him to call the game fearlessly, it's alluding and inferring that he wasn't doing that last year. Why? Why was he not? Is my question. So let's keep talking about Pat Stewart. He said a lot of interesting things yesterday. One thing that he talked about, and I think that, Kyle did a very good job in the interview. Talked about what his approach is in the portal. And he made it very clear. He goes, we're going to go needs first, then we're going to go, if it works out for us, then we'll go difference makers regardless of position. But really what we are attacking is, what are our needs? How do we get those needs? How do we address those needs? And then how do we add depth to the entire roster after that? All for it. Address your need. I mean, it's just simple. This is GMing 101. But it was interesting too, because he goes, address the needs. We need to address our needs. That's what we're going for. Well, I would have told you that one of Nebraska's biggest needs was at running back. And I'm not saying that one of Nebraska's biggest needs was at running back and then telling you, well, they needed to go out and get a Kawan Lacey, or they needed to go out and get a Ahmad Hardy, or they needed to go out and get that guy from Jacksonville State. I wasn't, I was very much a part of the group of, get a running back that's had experience, get a running back that's carried in Power 5 games, get a running back that, has been the guy at a place, or maybe the second guy at a place. Just get somebody who's carried the ball, more than, 50 times in a given season, because they just don't have that on the roster. They got Mekhi Nelson, who got very limited carries throughout the year. Most of his carries came against Utah, and a lot of those yards came at the beginning of the game. You got a guy like Isaiah Mosey, who I think will be an effective player at the Big Ten level, but still very much, throughout the year was a wide receiver who was trying to play running back. And then you got Quinn Ives. God knows what we have, there. I mean, we've been told over and over again, it seems like for the past couple of years, how great Quinnen has looked, and yet we've never seen that come to fruition in a game. But I would have told you that running back is a need, something that they need to address, and they chose not to, and which is why I was very curious by the quote from Stewart saying, well, we go and we had our needs and we addressed our needs first. Well, you had a need at running back. You didn't address it. He then said, we have the same level of confidence we had last year, in reference to the running back room. Okay. He said that when he came in the spring, a lot of people said, running back. You got to get a running back. And they held tight, and they had a belief in the running back room, and Emmett Johnson ended up being great, and they hold the same belief now. Now, they held tight, not for a lack of effort, though. I mean, let's not forget, they did go after Marty Brown. Now, they didn't go over the top for him. They did not. They didn't get desperate for him. They were totally fine with him going to Miami and them not overpaying. They were interested in Marty. Thought Marty would be a good addition to the room, but they weren't overly panicked about it. He ends up going to Miami. And, when you say a quote like that, we have the same amount of confidence this year as you did last year. Well, it ended up working out for you, right? And ended up, Emmett Johnson ended up being one of the best running backs in the league. But did they really think that was going to happen? Like, did they have a full, like, that would be my question. You have the same confidence this year as you did last year. But were you confident that Emmett Johnson was going to be a potential Doak Walker guy? Like, were you confident that he was going to be a dude that was going to go from kind of middling in the running back room, never really being the top guy, even when he had opportunities to potentially being a second round draft pick in the NFL draft? Maybe you were confident in the room, but did you know that was going to happen? That just clarification on what the confidence would be. And so I don't know. It's the whole running back situation is very interesting to me, because I think they've taken a very much an NFL approach, not only when it comes to just the running back room, but just the running back market. And what I mean by NFL approach is that a lot of teams just look at running backs as that's not a position you make a long-term high dollar financial investment in. And then that's a position that you can get production through in the aggregate, that you can do it by committee, that you don't need to shell out the big dollars for, and instead save your money up and spend it on the D line, spend it on the O line, spend it. That's kind of how I view them approaching how they look at the running back room. At the same time, they very much established that they want to run the ball, and they want to be a physical football team. And I get a little worried that is part of the identity that they want to have. But at the same time, you don't really have a guy in the running back room that has that proper Power 5 experience, that has that the carries that come at a high level of college football. You have a lot of experienced guys in that room. And so all of that kind of, I don't know, it was just a little. There's just a lot of room. There was a lot of room left in those quotes. There's a lot of fill in the blanks in those quotes. There's a lot of maybe when you combine all of those things, it's a little unclear. We want to address our needs. You had a need at running back. You didn't address it. Well, we didn't address it because we were as confident this year as we were last year. Well, you had a guy who ran the crap out of the ball in last year's running back room. But did you know that was going to happen? Did you know that Emmett Johnson was going to take that jump? And if you knew Emmett Johnson was going to take that jump, and you were confident he was going to take that jump, and he was going to be able to be the guy, are you willing to admit who you think is going to be that guy this season? Right? Do they think that guy's going to be Mekhi Nelson? Do they think that guy is going to be Jamal Rule? Do they think that guy is going to be Isaiah Mosey? I just want to know, right? You say you're as confident in this running back room as you were last year. And last year, in a way, if you were that confident, you were proven right by Emmett Johnson taking that massive jump. But I would want to know why. Like, show your work, right? That's all. That's kind of what I'm asking here in a lot of these instances. Just show me a little bit of work here, right? Dana Holgorsen, we want him to call the game fearlessly this year. Great. I'm all for it. Just why? Like, why wasn't that happening the year before? We're as confident in the running back room this year as we were last year. That's great. Why? Like, just what have you seen? What are you evaluating? Okay. Hey, we want to address our needs, but we didn't address our needs in the running back room. Okay. Why? Well, they did show their work there, right? We're as confident this year as we were last year. I just want a little, just give me a little more. Give me a little more. Because I think you could kind of tell, Josh, like, I want to have optimism. I want this thing to work out. I want Matt Rule to have success. I want the Cornhuskers, in this current regime to contend at the Big Ten, at the top of the Big Ten and be consistent contenders for the college football playoff. I want this to happen. And for a while, I had a belief that they were heading in the right direction and that we were going there. And then last year, definitely the results of what happened has put some skepticism in my head, put some skepticism in my brain. And I think I'm completely well within my right to have that skepticism, which is why I just want to, convince me a little bit more. Just give me a little bit more. I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to be holding the torch for you. I want to be telling. I am rooting for you. I really want to tell you that what you're doing is going to work out and we're heading in the right direction. I do, but I can't full faith just say, man, I believe you. Man, I buy. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Pat Stewart says they're as confident in this running back room as they were in last year's running back room. Okay, you know what? I want to be like, yeah, Mekhi Nelson's going to run for 1,400 yards this year. I just don't, just show your work a little. That's all. Just a little bit of both. Jared has a good comment.
Jared. Hi, Jared.
Or J-Rod. My bad. I think it's J-A-Rod. Gerard? We'll go with Gerard. Gerard writes.
Welcome, Texter.
If I'm being honest, fellas, you can't have it both ways. You complain when the coaches say too much, and then complain when they don't say enough. Which is it? It's a good question, Gerard. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you keeping me honest here. I think there are some things that you can keep internal. Okay? I think there are some things that you can for sure keep within the building. For example, don't come out and say to the media, hey, if I were Minnesota, I'd run the ball on us too. Okay? I don't think you need to go and communicate to the media. I was telling our team all week to take Minnesota serious. And some guys, well, come on, coach. I don't think you need to communicate that there was people doubting why you were taking Minnesota so seriously. I don't think you need to come out to the podium and say, we need better players on the D line. We need better players on the D line. No, you don't need to say that. There are some things that are best kept in house. But I also do think too, when you communicate something as bold as, hey, we're as confident this year as we were last year, and last year worked out. Okay, just add a little bit more to that. When you communicate, hey, we want Dana Holgorsen to call the game more fearlessly. I love that comment. I agree with that comment. I'm happy that Matt Rule says that and believes that. And that is something that's being communicated within the building. I'm all for that. I'm just not, I just want to but I also want to know, like, why wasn't that happening before? Right. So I think there's a give and take. There's some things I don't need to know. There's some things I don't need to know. There's some things that, we talked about this with Dr. Elza, right? Mm-hmm. Where she said, everyone thinks outside everything is falling apart, but inside we're great. I just don't need to be told that we have lying eyes and we don't believe that. That's just something I don't need. But I also do appreciate when they also bring up other things that are going on within the building that allow us to learn and understand what's going on. I think there's just a give and a take.
That you can inform the people that are there to cover you and not fall into CYA traps.
Yes, absolutely. And I also think too, like, I am allowed to get a little annoyed when you talk about Quinn and Ives as if he's Herschel Walker. Then I get excited about Quinn and Ives, and I think that Quinn and Ives could be the real deal, and then he ends up not getting any sort of carries outside of Houston Christian and Akron.
Defensive line's going to be hell on wheels.
I support some of the things that they say. There's just sometimes I just like to know a little bit more.
Sure.
And I want to know a little bit more so I can buy into what you're saying.
Like a lot of things, there's a balance there.
Because when you say, I'm as confident in this running back room as much as I am in last year's running back room, right? And then you don't give reasons or maybe more context as to why, then I think that's more of an answer to quiet the flame as to why you didn't acquire a running back as opposed to you actually having confidence. That's how I view it. Okay? So I think there's just some things to add context to, some things not to add context.
You say it best when you say nothing at all?
Sometimes. But I think this entire dialogue here is really just the emphasis of, I really want to talk about football and I really miss football. And I'm really interested in what these people have to say. And I think this season is fascinating from a perspective of, while there's some bad vibes, right? While there's some doubt, I think you have a really dynamic quarterback. I think you have a lot of young guys who gained a ton of experience last year. I think the coaching staff, you've hired some dudes who have merit. It seems like there's more connectivity on the staff. And while there's some skepticism because we had a lot of optimism last year and it didn't produce the results you wanted, say what you want about the schedule being tough. While the schedule is very tough, do you know what the schedule provides you? It provides you an opportunity to prove people wrong. It does. Go ahead. You beat Ohio State. You beat Oregon. You beat Indiana. That's one hell of a way to prove to people that things are going in the direction that you think they're going, right? Go ahead. I mean, yeah, this is a really tough schedule, and it's going to be tough for them to have a good record, but it gives you the opportunity to prove the things that you believe and to prove that you are making the strides you've been telling people you're making. And so I think we're not going to be as optimistic this season because of the things that have happened in the past, but there definitely are things to be optimistic about. And you can go ahead and you look at the schedule and say, well, 6 wins. Or you can look at the schedule and say, you know what? If this thing is going to work out, and if they're going to prove me wrong, this is the schedule to do it. And I hope they do it. I hope they do it, man. I really do. I want these wins. I want these wins for you. I want these wins for me. I want these wins for the fans because the fans deserve it. And so, we're in talking season. We're in overanalyzing season. So there it is. If you wanted 24 minutes of overanalyzation of things said about the football team, you just got it. Coming up next, we talk about Darryn Peterson because I have some thoughts. On the shooting guard from Kansas. On top of odd news coming up at 11:45 here on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Shocking news. Breaking news. Steve Simple will be unable to join us today after spring practice media availability. He said
Marathon session.
Not today. I'm swamped.
I'm jammed up.
Jammed. He hit that like a fullback through the a-hole.
That's a quote.
Yes. I'm quoting Kent Pavelka. Not shocking news. Georgia players Chris Cole and Darryn Peterson
Nailed it.
have been arrested on reckless driving charges.
Whoa, no, you're joking. I was going to make a joke.
2 Georgia players arrested on reckless driving.
So, okay, a lot of people love to joke with us like, oh, why don't anybody from 1620 The Zone go to the press conference and ask a question that Matt Rule might find offensive or something like that just to get some answers? Why doesn't anyone at Georgia ask about this?
This is an issue. Dude, this is a great comment. I'm not going to steal it, but this guy, 3 Tech Pod, comments under it. Do y'all have a templated article where you just fill in the blanks at this point? So there you go. I don't know. Very interesting there. Did I screw that up, Josh? I tried putting him on hold. 402-951-1620 is the number to call. That's the Prairie Flower Casino hotline. Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more if you want to get in on the conversation. Also, too, you can email us at the Equitable Bank inbox, Equitable Bank. They take banking personally. Matt at 1620 The Zone. Josh O at 1620 The Zone. Equitable Bank. They always pick up on the first ring. Shout out our man, Old Man Doug, a great contributor to this show. Let's talk about Darren Peterson. Last night, Kansas went ahead and beat Oklahoma State, but that's not what we're talking about. Instead, we're talking about the fact that Darren Peterson in 18 minutes of play had 23 points. Now, he had a really, really good first half. He had 20 points in the first half, but made a 3 in the second half, and then immediately tapped his coach, Bill Self, after making the 3, basically communicating to Self that he wanted to be taken out of the game. Self then said in a press conference on Darren Peterson, we've had this happen more than a couple of times. I didn't anticipate that at all tonight. I thought he was good to go. We only got 18 minutes out of him. That's disappointing because he could have had a really big night. So it was then communicated, I guess, there was more cramping that cramping, quote unquote, cramping that Darren Peterson had tonight. Look, this whole Peterson situation with him being in and out of the lineup and just having the cramps and then, the flu and then, couldn't play in that big game against Arizona. They still ended up winning. And, you have these rumors of, he's load managing and the involvement of people around him and all this stuff. Like, it's one of those instances where if I'm a team and I have the number 1 overall draft pick and I'm watching Darren Peterson play, I'm looking at the tape and saying, how do we not draft this guy? How do we not take this guy? This guy is so dynamic. This guy is one of the best pure scorers we've seen come out of college basketball in quite some time. But then, you hear about basically the load management that is happening and, his limited minutes and the fact that Bill Self, the head coach of his team, by the way, who is projected to be on the 2 or 3 seed line in the NCAA tournament, you hear his head coach literally say, yeah, our guys have learned to play without our best player and be good while doing it and beat the number 1 team in the country at the time when he wasn't playing. It definitely is cause for concern. And so, if I'm an NBA team, I am doing as much research as possible, as much investigating as possible. I am trying to find out, okay, is this hamstring and cramping thing, is this actually ailments that he has? And if so, are there ways that we can, help this? Or, what was the situation? What was the real story when it came to his sickness versus Arizona? Is this, he's just having a tough year of health, which is it's a whole other evaluation process? Or are there actually outside factors where he's trying to protect his draft stock and he's trying to protect his financial worth? because I have so many questions if I'm an NBA team. Okay. Like my first question is Darren Peterson playing for my team, or is Darren Peterson playing for Darren Peterson?
The answer seems pretty obvious at this point.
If I'm really going to spend the number 1 draft pick on a guy who's clearly playing for the name on the back of the jersey as opposed to the name on the front, that's a question I have to ask. Here's another.
If I'm an NBA team, I'm thinking, what's the number 1 problem people have with our league right now? People don't like playing basketball.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to draft the guy I think might not like basketball.
Here's another one. I wrote down all these questions. Okay. If Darren Peterson is actually pulling himself out of games for financial reasons and prestige benefits and whatnot, if he's doing that to be the number 1 overall draft pick, what is it going to be like when he's on the verge of getting a second contract? What is he going to, if we actually find out that he is load managing himself and saying that he has all these things going on so he doesn't have to play in order to protect his draft stock. If we find out that this might be the case, what is going to stop him from doing that when he's a couple of months away from getting a $200 million contract? How is he going to be? Here's another question I have. If his team is that influential on him, okay, and if his team, that, you know, the people that surround him are really kind of pulling the strings behind the curtain and influence him to make those decisions, what happens if they aren't happy? So you're telling me that not only do I got to keep Darren Peterson happy, but then I got to keep all those people behind the scenes happy as well to make sure they don't influence him in a way that makes him not want to play for my team, that makes him not contributing at the highest level, that makes him no longer to be on this team? How am I going to handle those people if they're actually that influential on it? Here's another question. Are we sure that he's the type of guy that will want to be here for a long time? I mean, I don't want to draft a guy with the number 1 overall draft pick if I think that in 5 years he's just going to request a trade when the things get tough. Okay? And then you have to ask yourself, through all these questions, is Darren Peterson going to play for himself for my team? How is he going to play, you know, when he's up against the second contract? How are we going to deal with the team around him if they're this influential? You have to ask yourself, if the dude is load managing and only playing 18 minutes and getting all these cramps and going through all these ailments in a 35-game season, how is he going to be in an 82-game season with back-to-back games? That's a big question for me. And then you have to then overarching ask yourself, is this all really worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
Is this all really worth it? I mean, because dealing with all of these factors and this is all, of course, incumbent upon if you find out this is actually going on, which from the outside, it seems like I'm a little bit in between here, Josh. I buy that he had a hamstring problem. I buy that, you know, they were very careful with hamstrings are no joke. You don't want to push yourself to the point where, you know, you potentially damage yourself forever. You got to be very cautious with this, especially with a prospect of his caliber and the amount of money that is on the table when it comes to being the number 1 overall draft pick. I buy that. Yesterday, though, where he just makes a 3 and then just taps his coach and then doesn't play the rest of the game, and then his coach says, I wasn't anticipating that at all. That definitely is a red flag with all the other rumors that we've heard. Okay. So
that's the thing where if I'm in Lawrence and I'm covering the Jayhawks, I'm asking Bill Self, hey, Bill, who runs that team?
Seriously.
Like,
is it you?
I get it. You know, you're like, why would Bill Self be worried about being hard on him? Like, well, if I'm hard on him, he'll transfer. He's going to go to the NBA anyway. Like, he can hate you. It's fine.
I don't know. I don't want to just be fully using the internet and fully using just what you see clips. I don't want to be completely accusatory and say that this guy doesn't like basketball and this guy does, you know, he's load managing himself and he's a selfish guy. I don't want to make those statements because I'm not in Lawrence and I'm not fully in the know. But from the outside looking in, it doesn't look great.
I haven't seen anyone who covers Kansas basketball tweeting out, hey guys, you got it all wrong on Darren Peterson.
Seriously.
Great guy. I mean, he's at the Children's Hospital every week and all those things.
It's just one of those things where on the outside looking in, it doesn't look great. And if I have all these questions, I can only imagine what the NBA teams are thinking, right? So
now I'm not an NBA GM, Matt. I don't know if you knew this about me. Wouldn't even be on my big board.
Man, these are a lot of questions to ask about a guy that you could potentially use your number 1 overall draft pick on. Going into the draft process, if I'm not sure that this guy's going to play for my team, that he's only going to play for himself, if I'm not sure that this guy can handle an 82-game season, if I'm not sure that this guy's being influenced by the right people, if I'm not sure that this guy really loves the game of basketball, am I really going to spend the number 1 overall draft pick on this type of guy? Is the juice really worth the squeeze when it comes to Darren Peterson? As games and weeks move on, the resounding answer creeps closer and closer to being no. And if I go through this whole draft process and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to deal with all these headaches. Cam Boozer's on the board. I'm just going to draft that guy. Nothing problematic coming out of Durham. Not hearing all these stories about, oh, Carlos is this and Carlos is that. And oh my God, this guy's a prima donna. No, the guy just goes out and balls every night and plays like the National Player of the Year. Why would I go through all this investigative work and jump through all these hoops and deal with all these headaches when it comes to Darren Peterson when I just have this stud who's playing at such a high level at a prestigious university, who comes from a basketball family? Why would I just go and draft that guy? All right, I'm going to take him. Hey, AJ Dybanska currently right now in one of the toughest conferences in the country is carrying this BYU team on his back. He just dropped 35 points yesterday. You know what? I'm going to draft that guy. I don't know, man. I worry that, they're, like I said, hamstring injury. I'm not going to doubt that's something that he suffered through, and you got to be very cautious, especially with a prospect like this. But when you make a 3 and you played 18 minutes and then you tap your coach on the leg and you don't play the rest of the game because it's about cramps, and then your coach goes to the press and says, yeah, we didn't anticipate this tonight. Don't know how the hell that happened. That's tough. It's tough. Nate's on the line. He's got the itty bitty committee. Let's hold that off until 12 o'clock. So Nate, if you want to call back at 12 and we can do that, just hold on one second. We're going to take a break here and then we're going to have the odd news coming up at 11:45 here on Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Odson.
Oh, Matt, another 3-on-3 overtime classic in the women's game. Bronze medal goes to the Swiss in overtime. They beat, Sweden 2-1.
What do you mean? I don't know Sweden. You've been watching this whole game the entire time.
I forgot.
It was the Swedes coach looks like Mark Ruffalo.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is Mark. We gotta get these guys.
We gotta nail
We gotta nail these scumbags.
We gotta nail these scumbags.
We gotta nail these Swiss. Yeah, congratulations, Switzerland, to being the second loser in the Women's Hockey Olympics. We are going to talk later about 3-on-3 overtime hockey. It's
a beautiful game.
It's stupid. What's the odd news, shots? And by the way, it's a poll question Thursday. Send in your poll questions.
Today is Thursday.
It is day. It is. I mean, to be fair, we had like 14 poll questions yesterday. So, Josh Odson, what is the odd news?
This one comes to us courtesy of John No H in my inbox. Thank you, John No H. Some ideas you come up with, they fall short of your expectations for whatever reason. Just doesn't work out the way you thought it would in your head.
Sure.
An unarmed, I don't know why that's important to the story, 25-year-old Montana man had to take care of an open container fine.
Okay.
No big deal.
All right.
Shouldn't happen, but it does happen, right?
Sure.
After a couple of drinks and bowls of marijuana, he decided to grab one for the road and pop into the Granite County Courthouse to take care of business. The plan started without a hitch. He made it and was waiting to pay the fine at the sheriff's office when it all started to unravel on him. Turns out it wasn't the best idea to have those drinks, get behind the wheel, and drive down to the sheriff's office to pay that fine. Not on Sheriff Barkel's watch, anyway.
Oh, no.
When he asked the, that's a typo.
Oh, no.
Way to go, Outkick. When the man asked.
You're writing Outkick articles?
It was what John sent me.
Okay. All right.
When he asked the man if he needed some help, his training and expertise kicked in, and he knew that the 25-year-old was intoxicated. According to the sheriff office's Facebook page, the male was asked to step outside and was then asked if he had driven his vehicle here, when the male replied, yes. Wow. He was then given a quote-unquote proper scolding and asked how many drinks he had consumed that day. In slurred words, he replied that he had had 2 drinks, and sheriff's office was quick to point out that usually means 2 too many, not just 2. So the moral of the story is, if you're going to the sheriff's office to pay your open container fine.
Did he get arrested?
That's a good question. They let him walk out of the building there.
Okay, so I don't think you can retroactively give him a DUI. I'm not a lawyer.
He was charged with aggravated DUI and open container.
Wow. Okay, I guess you can.
They searched the vehicle after he said, well, yes, I did drive here, and they found some things.
Some people are stupid, man. How stupid do you have to be?
Very.
To do that. Continue. I mean, there's just there's odd news stories, and then there's just dumbass news stories, and that's just that guy being a dumbass.
I'd like to give you a little bit of both here.
I appreciate that. What's our second story?
New York City man who attempted to claim ownership.
We're real quick. New York City man, like not Florida man or Ohio man, but definitely like, hey, poking around a little bit. I always get perked up when you hear Staten Island man. That's always a good one too. All right, what did this New York City man do?
He attempted to claim ownership of the New Yorker hotel.
Oh, did he have proper paperwork?
He did not.
Oh, okay. Well, typically you need that.
He has pled guilty to fraud, ending a lengthy legal saga involving an obscure tenant law that allowed the man to live rent-free at the New Yorker for years. Mickey Barretto. Great New York name.
Great name. Mickey Barretta. Oh my God. I knew his cousin Nancy. We went to Staten High together.
We went to PS 226 together.
Hey, your brother ever get out of MIT with? Yeah.
Well, Mickey entered the plea Wednesday admitting he had forged property records in an effort to take ownership of the hotel. an effort that on paper was at least partially successful. In Mickey's telling, he and his boyfriend paid $200 in 2018 to rent one of the more than 1,000 rooms in the Art Deco hotel. He then requested a lease, claiming his one-night stay entitled him to protections under a city housing law that applied to single-room occupants of buildings constructed before 1969.
Jeez, the guy knows his paperwork.
Yeah, he thought he found a legal loophole there. When the hotel said, no, we're not giving you that paperwork, he took his case to housing court.
Oh, wow.
After the hotel failed to send a lawyer to a key hearing, Barreto was awarded possession of the room. But Manhattan prosecutors said, what the hell are we doing here? And quickly put the kibosh on that.
Okay. Wow. Good for Mickey Barreto.
Mm-hmm.
Barreto,
yes.
Mickey Barreto. Nice. Okay. I guess that was an overcomplicated squatters' right case, essentially.
Yeah, he
and he was claiming a hotel.
It's a single room occupancy.
Wow, look at you. Look at Mickey. Really, honestly, if you're putting that much effort into that, you could probably put that much effort into getting a job and being able to like pay off and rent and own something. You know? Is that, am I unfair there?
No.
If you're going through all of that trouble to forge documents and find loopholes, wouldn't you just be better off at getting a job and working your way up? Am I out of line here?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you.
J-Man in the chat says, Josh, the Mick has Wacky Guest Wednesday written all over him.
I'm going to be honest with you. I do not want to talk to.
You don't want to talk to Mickey Barreto?
Potential hotel crime king, Mickey Barreto.
Okay.
No offense to Mickey.
Maybe you would like to talk to this Florida woman.
Oh, there it is. Okay. What did she do? Did she set a car on fire?
No.
Okay.
Gosh.
She set a house on fire.
Boy, she spells Kaylin very weird.
Ooh, Kaylyn.
Kaylyn.
Yeah. 2 Y's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After Kaylin Blaine's boyfriend and cohabitant called the cops on Kaylin, police arrived to find pickles and pickle juice scattered across the apartment floor, and the boyfriend had a knot on the top of his head where Kaylin allegedly clobbered him with a glass jar of pickles.
Jeez.
According to police, Blaine, 32 years young, and the 34-year-old victim argued Monday morning about the cleanliness of their Florida apartment. Blaine and the man have dated for 6 years. After being accused of making a mess, Blaine reportedly got agitated and grabbed the glass jar of pickles. She then allegedly struck the victim in the head with the jar. Kaylin Blaine, who...
Great name, by the way.
She looks like a Kaylin, I'll tell you that.
Hot?
The stories in the odd news do not often contain the world's most attractive people.
Is she one of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
If there were horniest show on 1620 The Zone, maybe we could do an odd news beauty pageant.
Have you met a Kaylin that's not good looking? I haven't. And I've met about 5.
I feel I have too small a sample size for this question.
Can I tell you this right now? I've never met an Olivia that wasn't beautiful.
Wow. Olivia Dunn.
I'm like 11-0. I'm like 11-0 on Olivia's. One of them I was very close to like going on dates with. I'm very mad that never happened.
Olivia, if you're listening.
No, she's not. She's got.
There ain't no ring on her finger.
Could be. I'm just saying. If we're doing like a power ranking through tiers, an S tier name based off hotness, Olivia number 1.
Okay.
A number 1 easily. And
love learning things.
And then I would say Elizabeth, any form of Elizabeth, Liz, Lizzie, Elizabeth, Eliza,
Beth.
No.
Beth doesn't count in this. Okay.
That's the end. Well, if Eliza counts, then Beth should count. Let's just keep it to Elizabeth, Liz, and Lizzie.
Okay.
Never met a bad looking Liz.
Just wanna know where the lines are, my friend.
Send in. Bailey's another good one too. That'd be S tier. That thing, I think that's where I would cut it off.
That's your project after the show. Do one of those.
Ranking
one of those graphics. All the names.
All of the names, all of the women names based on attractiveness. My top 3 easily.
What could go wrong?
Lizzie, Bailey, Olivia.
Where's an Evelyn rank?
Probably C.
Okay. I feel like that'd probably be the biggest tier.
I've met 2, and they were both pretty. This is all based off of my experience.
Okay.
Everybody would have a different list.
Obviously.
Do we have anything else?
Nope. That's the odd news for today.
Very good. Great job. Odd news with Josh Oddson.
A lot of hustle out there today.
A ton of hustle out there today. By the way, it is a poll question Thursday. Seth has been emailing us nonstop.
I'm not doing that one poll question.
Did you see what Charles said?
No.
He goes, who hasn't wanted to nail a Swiss?
Oh.
Poll question.
Have you wanted to nail a Swiss?
I feel like that's too
little.
I mean, but we are the horniest show.
By default.
Do we play into the bit? We do have an itty bitty bit committee meeting coming up at 12:15, according to Nathan.
I'm very excited.
Who apparently just schedules our show now.
That's great. You booked the show. I don't care.
Nathan books himself, I guess.
I wish more guests booked themselves.
Like Steve Sipple. Where are you son of a gun?
Ooh, I got to talk to Rich Bisaccia. Ooh,
I gotta talk to Matt Rule. I'm so important. I'm Steve Sipple.
Just read
all the tweets.
Read Mitch Sherman's tweets. Read Tim Verghese's tweets. That's what we all do.
That's what we do.
It's easier than going.
I actually like to go.
Yeah, I know you do.
I can't go anymore.
You can't. You used to be our man in the room.
Why does Rob Orch look like Connor Happer? Did you see that picture?
I guess I haven't.
Oh my God, Coach Happer.
Yeah, right. Let's take a look.
Go to Inside Nebraska.
Whoa.
Whoa.
There's one where is it Marek or Merrick? Steve Marek.
Merrick. He's a stud.
He tweeted it's from somewhat of a distance. Looks exactly like Connor.
It's
Happer.
Connor Happer. There's also
I'm gonna retweet this.
Dana Holgerson. Dana had a good offseason, man. He's looking well tan.
See some sights.
The goatee's looking sharp, his rosy cheeks are in. Good for Dana. All right. This is an exciting day. I have a tweet to read when we get back about Nebraska football that I'm interested in. That, and we talk about Creighton basketball. What an upset. We break that all down. Coming up next here on Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Josh was just panicked because Doc Emmerich's name popped up on the TV, and I acted like a dog seeing a squirrel.
You definitely did the Leo meme where you pointed at the screen. Doc Emmerich.
Doc Emmerich. I was like, he's narrating. How can I miss this? I'm a
goat.
I'm a whore for when they do like the
kids are out of school today. Be careful.
Before the okay, sorry. For when they do the pregame packages leading into a big game.
I am too.
Like I will go ahead and I'll go on YouTube and I'll look up old pregame packages before big games to rewatch them. Like before the Cubs game 6 against the LA Dodgers at Wrigley Field to go to the World Series, they did a If These Walls Could Talk pregame package promo that I just will go back and just watch. I'll just watch that. Or like the 2008 NBA Finals where they'll go back. Oh.
Okay, so here's something. Do you have the DVD of the 2016 Chicago Cubs?
I do not.
Okay, I would have thought for sure you did.
No, we weren't a DVD family. We were actually we were quick to the Netflix thing.
Okay.
Like we had a DVD player and everything like that, but it's not like we went and did the whole like Blu-ray and all. Like we didn't go DVD shopping at Target or anything like that. We were actually an on-demand family. Remember, on-demand. Everybody knows on-demand.
I'm familiar.
Number one, if you're a Comcast cable person, just takes you to, where you can watch all your TV shows and everything like that, and you can buy a bunch of movies. Like, my dad is worried because his on-demand movie catalog expires in a couple of years for all of the movies he's ever bought on demand. Will just be gone, and he's very worried. But I'm just like, this was the risk you ran in 2011. You never thought that 2029 would actually occur and you would lose all your movies.
When you commit to a format, it's always hard.
It is
when the format changes.
The McMasters were a Laserdisc family. I don't know what that was. What is a Laserdisc?
Okay, so Laserdisc was it hit its high notes in the mid 90s.
Okay,
it was.
A lot of things hit the high notes in the mid 90s. It feels like
it was. They were DVDs.
Okay,
but they were the size of a record, like a vinyl record.
Okay, all right.
And some movies would take like you had to get up mid movie and change the laser disc because it just couldn't hold a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, that sounds annoying. Very inefficient.
Like the first DVD that ever came out for Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I vividly remember having to flip the DVD.
Why were we so dumb for so
finish
long?
Goodfellas.
Why were we so dumb for so long?
Like, hey, great. We got this great piece of technology. It's brand new, going to revolutionize the industry. If you can't fit a whole movie on it, maybe the technology isn't finished yet.
I sometimes get panicked thinking about what you just told me, right? And you being like, yeah, we used to flip a disc in order to make sure that we watch, we can see the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
And now you are in a world, Josh Hodson, where you just literally just scroll through and you press 2 buttons and you buy a movie and you can watch that entire movie. You are now in a world where you don't even have to wait for things to everything's at your fingertips.
17 days. That's all you have to wait.
Everything is at your hands. I'm a little worried thinking about what is this going to be like for me in 25 years? What am I going to have to explain to a 23-year-old Matt McMaster what we used to have to do?
Are you being inconvenienced right now and you don't know it?
A little bit. I feel I have no idea what I'm being inconvenienced by in my life. But then I'm at some point that is going to happen, and I'm kind of worried of what the steps technology are going to take because technology already is over my head. I already feel like I'm already kind of drowning in the never-ending cycle of things developing, and I'm just kind of on the back foot when it comes to technology. Where are we going to be in 20 years? It worries me to hear you say these things. And then me to be like, what am I going to have to explain to a kid who's currently my age in 20 years?
Remember how you're feeling right now.
Yeah.
Because I have a text from Mike Schaefer. I don't know if you're familiar with him and his work.
I've heard of him.
Okay. Quote, I had completely repressed the flipping a DVD moment of my life.
I know. I'm worried, man.
You forget those hardships. You gotta remember them. Stay sharp.
I feel like if I had to guess, like in 25 years, we're all gonna have chips in our head that we can just like go like this, right? And then we're just gonna have the world in front of our eyes. And I'm gonna have to explain to people like, hey, you used to have to like have a little box that we called a phone. And you actually used to have to take your fingers and scroll through everything. Is that what it's gonna be? That sounds scary to me.
I don't like what you just described. No.
I don't like the idea of having to explain what an iPhone was in 20 years. The uncertainty of what will make the iPhone extinct scares me.
Okay, that would have to be a very revolutionary device.
Okay, but what if I told you back in 1999 where you were flipping your Goodfellas disc that we had a phone that you just could buy anything at any point through the internet? Imagine explaining that to you then.
I would say, is my phone going to make that noise every time I try and make a call?
That would freak you out. Wouldn't it freak you out?
Yeah.
Right. I'm being freaked out right now.
Oh, yeah. One of those big brick Zach Morris phones is going to take over the world. Sure thing, kid.
Yeah. All right. Right. You're a phone without out of an antenna. Are you out of your gourd? Are you kidding me? We're always going to have antennas. Josh goes, how will we explain sports talk radio in 20 years?
Whoa.
We're still here. We're still going to be here. Josh in 20 years being like, yeah, I used to listen to this dumbass named Matt McMaster. He would just say all of his opinions. The guy wanted a bronze medal instead of a silver. Which, by the way, did you see the elation from the Swiss team when they won the bronze medal? They didn't care at all that they weren't in the gold medal game.
Medal or no medal, I guess I'll take a bronze.
I guess I'll take a bronze. Poll question, would you take a bronze?
Weren't you the one that argued that a bronze is better than a silver?
Poll question, would you take a bronze? It's poll question Thursday, Josh. Stick with the program, please. Half my name is on it. I really need them to put McMaster on it. Marketing, can we get on that, please? And so, talking about marketing, actually, a great pivot. Nathan from Ohio, let's have an itty-bitty bit committee meeting. How you doing, Nate? Nate?
Oh, no.
See you, Nate.
Nate!
And now I can hardly breathe.
Call back.
J-Man writes in, Mike Schaefer, the desk stapler. Mike Schaefer of the desk and stapler. A lot of people have been texting into our shows recently. I'm a big fan of it.
Appreciate that.
We need the engagement. Do you know who doesn't need the engagement? Creighton basketball. Hell of a win yesterday for them. They got plenty of engagement across the nation yesterday where people were just stunned that UConn dropped one against Creighton. They were a 15.5-point favorite heading into the game at Stores on a Mecca Okafor night and $2 beer night. Could there ever be could you ever put more effort in trying to juice up a crowd than having a game on $2 beer night and a Mecca Okafor night?
Those are two high-powered promotions.
Those are massive high-powered promotions. Like that is really like you can't do anything more than that, if I'm being honest with you. So that crowd was juiced, along with the fact that Danny Hurley literally told the crowd that they weren't juiced enough in the last time that they played at the Gamble Pavilion. And so that crowd was raring to go. And let me tell you something right now about this Blue Jay basketball team. There have been inconsistencies throughout the season. They were 13-13 heading into the game yesterday. They were ranked in the preseason. They did not live up to the billing in the non-con. They've dropped some games that you never really thought they would drop in conference play, and particularly getting the brakes blown off of them against Marquette. And while there have been inconsistencies and while the book has kind of been written on them in terms of if you want to beat them, just get to the paint because they very much lack an inside presence, they have a ton of talent on the team. Like, that's the one thing I've told people. I'm like, okay, yeah, this Blue Jay basketball team isn't very good, but they still have a lot of talent. Like, Austin Sports is, at any point could go off for 20 points. Josh Dix is a complete two-way player. Nick Graves, when he's pushing the pace, looks like one of the better point guards in the Big East. Like, there are a lot of promising players on this team. It's just their flaw of not being able to defend the paint is just so massive that it has deteriorated kind of the rest of the things that they do well. And on top of that, on top of the issues that they've had on defense, they've had major inconsistency issues on offense as well, where it just seems like every game you can count on them going on a 5-6 minute scoring drought. And playing like, we've said this before, man, if this Blue Jay team could play, a full 40 minutes, what would they look like? But the problem is that they've just shown you no proof that they can actually play a full 40 minutes. Well, yesterday they did. Like, that's exactly what they did yesterday. The Creighton Blue Jays showed you the type of teams that they can beat when they play a full 40 minutes. They scored 45 points in the first half, 46 points in the second half. Okay, they got to the paint consistently on the offensive end. They made 10 threes. They out-rebounded UConn. They looked more connected than really they ever have on the defensive end. You had some really good defense played on the perimeter that allowed, that forced UConn to pick up dribbles. Like, yes, did UConn get to the paint plenty? Absolutely. Where it was Terrace Reed, was I massively worried when he was dunking and laying up the ball in the first couple minutes of the game? You bet your butt I was. But, UConn, I don't think UConn played terribly. They did not play up to what UConn standards are. But they just got outplayed. Like, Creighton just fully outplayed UConn. They out-rebounded them. They outplayed them in the paint. They got to the free throw line. They made their free throws. Like, they executed at the end of the game. The end game execution was really, really impressive. Being able to get the ball in, calling the timeouts at the right time, hitting your free throws, now not allowing UConn to get an opportunity to, have a miracle comeback. And then, I just think that from an offensive perspective, this is what this team can be, where you have major contributions from Josh Dix, where Nick Graves does an incredible job pushing the ball in the fast break, getting them into their system, catching UConn off guard, taking advantage of matchups. Then you have Josh Dix. He had 21 points. That sequence when they're down 50-45 and Gample's going crazy, and it seems like UConn is on the verge of opening the game up, and then Josh Dix hits a 3, 50-48. You're like, okay, got him back into it. Then UConn goes on a 5-0 run, 55-48. They're up 7. Once again, a Mecca Okafor night, $2 beer night in Stores, Connecticut. Seems like this game is moments away from being out of reach. It seems like this game is moments away from UConn pulling away and giving them a stiff arm. And what happens instead? Nick Graves hits 3, 55-53. And all of a sudden, it really becomes a game. And they compete to the very end. And then, I asked Alan Huss on the postgame yesterday, I go, who gets the raise for putting Blake Harper in? He said Hudson Greer does for twisting his ankle. He goes, he gets the raise. Because then we had to put Blake in. And, Blake said in the postgame that he had a tough week of practice. And there was a reason why he didn't play the first 32 minutes of the game. But what happens? They put him in with 8 minutes to go. He plays the rest of the contest. He scores 12 points and closes out the game for the Jays. Made 2 big 3-pointers and then a beautiful fall away, fade away Jay. I mean, it was just a complete performance from this team on both sides of the ball. And yeah, UConn helped Creighton out big time, right? UConn helped Creighton out by, missing some bunnies and, not capitalizing on opportunities in the paint. And they didn't really shoot the ball that well from the free throw line. Like, Creighton got some help from the fact that UConn wasn't at the peak of their game. But man, sometimes you got to take advantage. You got to make your own breaks and you got to take advantage of opportunities. And take advantage of maybe luck and just take advantage of things. And they took advantage of that last night. Outshot UConn from the 3-point line. UConn went 10 of 30. Creighton went 10 of 21 from 3. Just like I said, a complete 40-minute game from a team that has faced so many trials and tribulations both on and off the court. And it's been an emotional year for this team. It's been a long time. It's been a long process just getting these guys to learn how to play together, to fit in their roles, to learn the system. And then you add the just emotion and battle that they've went through as a family, as a team over the last couple of weeks, stemming from the passing of Josh Dix's mother, Kelly Dix. It's just one of those things where this team came together and did something really, really special last night. What they did, going on the road, beating a top 5 team in the country, a team that they were 15.5-point underdog against, it was special.
Got to feel good when you've been banging your head against the wall all season.
You do.
It's frustrating, not that they have, but nobody would have blamed them for just kind of going through the motions down the stretch here.
And that's the thing too. Like after the Kansas State game, I thought, wow, this is the turning point. This is either this team is just they're content with being not very good and they're going to kind of cruise through the Big East play, and this is just going to be a lost season, or they can dial in and figure it out. And for those couple of weeks, they dialed in, they figured it out, and then teams figured them out with how to attack them in the paint. But yesterday, it kind of all came together in a magical setting against a really good team, a team that Greg McDermott is 10-4 against Dan Hurley. That ain't a fluke. That ain't we just got him. No. He knows how to beat Dan Hurley. He understands how to attack his teams. And it's just kind of one of those things where, am I buying a ton of stock in Creighton basketball right now? Am I looking at them and saying, wow, they're going to beat St. John's and they're going to have back-to-back upsets on the road? And are they going to, run the table in the Big East tournament? Are they going to do what Georgetown did a couple of years ago and steal a bid and get to the NCAA tournament? No, I'm not.
It's one night. It's a great night. Great to have in your pocket after the frustrations of this season.
Jacob Padilla put it best on
he usually does.
I don't know if it was on the Connor Happer show or if it was on Happer and Schaefer, but Padilla was on with Happer and said, like we all get focused on like the big picture and what we do in the postseason and expectations, but like seasons really come down to appreciating the little moments, appreciating the victories that come along the way throughout an entirety of a year. And one of the little moments is the comeback against Xavier, the comeback against Georgetown, the comeback against Villanova, and
comebacks.
And remembering where you were when Austin Sports dropped 27 points, like those things. Yesterday, in a season that has been nothing short of disappointing, was a moment that you can always harken back to. Did this season go the way that you wanted to? Absolutely not. Was there some mistakes made? Whether it be in coaching throughout the season or general managing and evaluate, you can pinpoint what the problem was this year. But you won't forget though, hey, on a Mecca Okafor night, they went and
$2 beer night.
On $2 beer night, they played a team that was going to be a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, and they beat them. And they beat them by playing a full 40 minutes of good basketball. And you can look at it two ways. You can say, oh my God, why couldn't they do this all year? Or you can look at it as, man, that was fun. That was a good time. And I think for Creighton Blue Jays fans, they're going to enjoy it in the latter. They're going to say, hey, that was a good time. And that team deserved to enjoy that victory, have that victory, and have that accomplishment that they can put a feather in the cap for. All right, let's go to the Prairie Flower Casino hotline. 402-951-1620 is the number to reach us. As always, Nathan from Ohio is on the line. Nate, how are you, my friend?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing great.
I'll be honest. Everybody knows I take my job seriously. I
You do?
listen to all these podcasts. I take notes to try to get like the best bits, the best segments possible. But I'm just pissed off today.
Why are you pissed off?
Oh no.
Because of what happened with the men in red. And of course, I'm talking about the epic collapse of the men's curling team. I cannot express how absolutely devastated I am. Like, how in the world do you not make an open draw to the 8 foot? And you just give 4
Whole question.
to the. I just don't understand. I just don't understand what's going on. I guess you can't spell Team Casper without ass. And that's where I'm at right now. So I'm really sorry. I had like some segments lined up. I had some other stuff, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, gentlemen. I just had to unload and rant a little bit about the ridiculousness of dropping the last 3. You have to concede. Which by the way, like, what if we did that in football? I'm down by 42. Let's just shake hands in midfield and call it a day.
I'm going to be honest with you. There have been some Nebraska football games where I kind of wish they conceded.
They did against Minnesota.
They did. And Iowa and Penn State. And Utah.
It definitely could be argued that happened quite a few times, actually. But anyways, yeah, so I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys have thoughts on the U.S. curling team.
Oh, no, I couldn't agree more. You took all of the points that I had.
They're not fit for radio. Too vulgar.
Yeah. Honestly, we don't have enough delay on the dump button for Josh and I to really express how we feel about men's curling.
I mean, they score the fewest doubles. They gave up the most triples. I mean, it's just I don't understand. Like you have an open draw to score 1, and yet you choose a long run from 20 feet to try to score 4. Like, what are we even doing? What are we even doing?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
God.
I couldn't agree more, Nate. You got anything else for us, Nate, before we let you go here?
No, I'll call in with the other segments.
Okay, you're the best.
I got a list. But
thank you, Nate.
I appreciate it. See you guys.
You are the man. Hey, by the way, thank you for calling back. We appreciate you, great.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate you guys. Bye.
I mean, you got to tear the thing down to the studs. I want heads on pikes. I want answers. None of this. Say we're going to go and retool, and we're going to get better one day at a time.
Do you think USA Curling will ask him? Is this a full reset for you guys?
Who
said reset? We're just tweaking the curling program. I have no interest in curling.
Really?
It's just because it was on.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's why we're
Don't
watching.
you think it's a little ridiculous? You know what? I don't want to insult curling. I'm going to bite my tongue. Bite my tongue.
All right.
Not going to say. USA and Canada are playing women's hockey right now.
They are. No score, right?
No score.
It's early. It's like 7 minutes into the game or
They're
something.
doing the thing that I don't like when they do, which is pass the puck blindly all across the ice and not actually look to your target.
One goal.
Okay.
One.
I'm not talking about the defensive end. Which, by the way, I tried buying a women's hockey jersey online. I couldn't find, they're not on sale. They're literally not on sale. You can buy 2022.
Aren't they the same jerseys as the men?
I know, but I can't find. I can't even buy the men.
A player.
I want to buy a Caroline Harvey jersey.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be cool to have a USA women's hockey jersey?
Yes, I think.
Isn't that very hey, that's pretty. Who's Harvey? It was it's the women's team.
Oh, you don't know?
You don't know?
Is that why you want it? Just be honest.
I would love a girl at the bar to be like, wow, that's so progressive of you. Poll question, do you want a girl?
Is the jersey the deal?
Yes. Poll question.
All right.
It's a poll question Thursday here at
is.
1620 The Zone. Kenneth goes LMAO. Kenneth knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my God. You got the women's jersey? You didn't get the men's jersey? How sexy of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking for. J. Skirt Todd writes in.
Hi, J. Skirt Todd.
Would you rather bowling or curling? Todd doesn't know. I love Professional Bowling Association on FS1, announced by...
This came up the other day.
John Fanta is a great bowling announcer, which, by the way, if John...
He looks the part.
If we ever... Bite your tongue. If there's ever a time where we were to interview John Fanta...
I got his phone number.
You want to just call him? I feel like that'd be rude.
That would. Abuse of the privilege.
A little bit. But if I ever were to interview John Fanta, I would ask him about his time as the PBA announcer. I thought he did a phenomenal job. John, Texan.
Hi, John.
Olivia Newton-John was my first crush when I was 4 years old.
Hello.
I'll be the judge of that.
What do you mean you'll be the judge of that?
I have to look up what she
Oh,
looks
you don't know who that is?
I mean, it's a sexy name. She was cute. Oh, she's from Greece.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you do know who this person is. You just didn't know her name.
I didn't know her name.
That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, she's 70s beautiful. There's a difference.
I know what you mean when you say that.
There's a difference.
Sadly, she left us in August of 22.
Oh my God. I did not know that. Rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. Very beautiful woman. Wes, texting.
Hi, Wes.
Hey, Matt, I'm going to designate you as my hockey guy of all three shows. Hopefully that's okay with me being a Minnesota Wild fan. Anyway, the U.S. men will win the gold medal if Jordan Binnington doesn't play well.
He's low-key having a stinker.
He low-key had a stinker, and there wasn't anything low-key about it. He had a stinker. Now, everybody's really, really mad about the fact that I had to look up Olivia Newton-John. Guys, calm down.
You're 23.
I know. Her peak was 20 years before I was
at least
born. Now, I do love The Last Dance for finding out who Carmen Electra is.
Okay, that one Confuses me isn't the right word, but it's all I got right now.
Oh, I'm all studied up now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Are you? Did you watch some old reruns of MTV's Singled Out?
How could you not?
I love that game show, by the way. Farrah Fawcett. Are you familiar with Farrah Fawcett?
You know what? I've heard Farrah Fawcett.
Okay.
I don't know what Farrah Fawcett is.
Have you seen the poster?
Oh no.
Google Farrah Fawcett.
Am I allowed to do this on
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Farrah Fawcett poster. Whoa.
That's like the #1 selling poster of all time. I believe the second is those nude women with the Pink Floyd album covers.
What a beautiful woman.
Yes.
Holy Lord. I didn't know they looked like that. That's incredible.
Now, sadly, she left us in June of 2009.
Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm not going to say that. John goes, I'm talking before that. Olivia Newton-John in the movie Xanadu?
Xanadu.
Mm-hmm. What was that?
Okay. let me tell you. Now, I don't say that because you should know what Xanadu is. Know. Xanadu is ridiculous. So.
Okay, what is it? Is it like Cocaine Bearer, but Olivia Newton-John was hot?
The plot of Xanadu, as written by Google. Struggling artist Sonny Malone is trapped in a dull job painting album covers. He is instantly attracted to Kira, an anonymous woman randomly photographed in the background of one of his assignments, but no one is able to identify her. Visiting the auditorium where the cover was shot, Sonny finds the mysterious beauty, an ageless Greek muse who encourages him to team up with old-fashioned Danny McGuire to build a roller skating disco.
I felt like those were just words all jumbled together. I didn't really.
That's why I wanted to read it to you.
I didn't really grab anything.
Wait till you see the movie.
I'm not going to see the movie.
Oh, you should watch Xanadu.
You know, I just got to the point where the horse's head is in the bed of The Godfather, and then I never really went on from there. I'm still stuck on the part of the town that I'm still stuck on. You think Xanadu is really going to get watched?
Okay, finish The Godfather. Do that first. Finish The Town second, because I feel like you're pretty close to the end. You should probably just finish it. Take the 30 minutes, my friend.
Hour.
Okay.
Nick tweets in at Matt McMedia. Bro, you can't wear a hockey jersey out and get a girl. I beg to differ. I strongly beg to differ.
Now people are sending in names of women for you to Google.
Oh, great. Okay.
And I kind of like this.
Let's just do this. Let's do this in the next segment.
Okay.
All right. Let's do this in the next segment. Hot women Matt doesn't know about. And I will rank them. And we'll make poll questions.
Coming up next on Ladies of the 80s.
Ladies of the 80s here on Middays with Matt.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
I want to be clear about something before we start this, Matt.
Okay.
This is for educational purposes.
Okay. Go ahead.
We do so often on this show, in this station, things devolve into guys naming dudes. It's never guys naming gals.
No, it isn't.
It's never guys naming dudettes.
No. So are we the most progressive show on 1620 The Zone?
Your words,
as
not
well?
mine.
All right. Is that what people are saying?
I would like them to start saying before we do this. So if you didn't join in on the last segment, Matt learned.
I didn't know who Farrah Fawcett was.
Yeah, sure. Why would he? He's 23.
And Olivia
genuine.
Newton-John, I've seen before in my life, but I haven't seen before in my life.
Matt has admitted previously that through watching The Last Dance during COVID, he learned who Carmen Electra was. I want to get as many boxes checked for Matt as we can. Let's name some dudettes.
So
people are sending in their names of people that they want Matt to know about for whatever reason.
Whatever that reason may be.
Yeah. Are you ready to Google?
I am ready to. I just got one already.
Okay.
Vanessa Del Rio.
Vanessa Del Rio. I don't know that one.
Yep. It's pretty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make these work appropriate names.
I was about
okay?
to say, for real, please. Jeez. All right. From the 402. All
402.
Right. I'm ready. This is such a bad idea.
Raquel Welch.
Okay.
If you need help on spelling, I think Google will get you there for a lot of these.
Oh, gorgeous.
That's
my
a good
lord.
One. Bamo, that's a good one.
My lord. Very pretty.
Okay. Now we're not going to be so crass as to rank them.
Or anything like that.
You're seeing a lot of blind rankings on Nebraska social media right now. We're not going to do that.
Talk about aging with as fine wine. You know, Raquel Welch. Oh, she sadly passed away at 82.
Oh,
rest in peace, Raquel.
Bo Derek.
Who?
Bo Derek.
Bo.
She played Tommy's stepmom, excuse me, in Tommy Boy.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, I'm aware.
Okay.
Very pretty.
I thought that would be the one.
Very pretty.
Next one, you might be familiar with this one.
Okay.
Brooke Shields.
No.
Okay.
What did she do?
She was an actress. Trying to think of what her most famous works would be. The Blue Lagoon comes to mind. She was a sitcom actress in the 90s. Sports Connection. Married at one time to Andre Agassi.
Whoa. She is. Wow. That is a gorgeous woman.
I believe she'd be one of your headliners if you were doing a Ladies of the 80s podcast.
Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she, probably didn't age as gracefully as Raquel Welch, still a very pretty woman. But
who did?
But good, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Lord. Okay.
Again, I just want you to be familiar with the names.
This is ridiculous. Once again, with the Farrah Fawcett comment of I didn't know they looked like that she is one of the prettiest women I've ever seen.
There we go. Okay.
She is. Lord. Okay. Is there any? We'll do two more.
Before
we get canceled.
God, I only got two more. Okay, I'll go with the audience picks instead of mine.
Okay.
Nicole Eggert.
All right. I'm so uneducated.
This would be a lady of the 90s, but point still stands.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Wow.
I want to know what comes up when you Google these people. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Huh.
I mean,
those are not the photos I would have used for Nicole.
No.
Eggert.
You kind of have to add a little bit of a adjective at the end.
I remember her from Charles in Charge.
There's this one picture of her holding a cat. She looks great in black and white.
Okay.
Lord.
Nicole Eggert holding a cat.
Yeah. She's in a little rainbow sweater.
I got to know what he's talking. Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You can buy an autographed photo of Nicole Eggert.
Hitting up eBay after the show. Okay, I guess last one. This is the last one we're doing.
We can do 2 more after.
2 more. Okay. Kelly LeBrock.
I don't know any of these. Kelly LeBrock. Yeah. I mean,
very of the time.
Yeah. Hair's a little much.
Yeah, big
for me. I'm not a curly-haired man.
We're not doing our hair like that anymore.
No. Poll question: are you a curly-haired guy?
Okay.
I'm not. She's still gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. But she's got great fashion taste, though.
Oh yeah.
Very well dressed woman.
Okay. Last one we're gonna do.
Yes.
We'll fast forward it to the 90s a little bit.
Okay.
Amy Jo Johnson.
Amy Jo. Oh, comes up right away.
Yeah.
Not my type.
Not your type. Good thing we weren't ranking these women on attractiveness. We were just educating you on pop culture.
Oh, my bad.
Just want to be crystal clear about what we're doing.
Give me one more.
Oh, he wants one more.
This is fun.
Okay, Platcat says Fiona Apple.
Why don't I know any of these women?
I don't know. That's the great. If Amy Jo Johnson wasn't your type, I don't think Fiona Apple's going to be your type. But again, not
still all very pretty women.
Not grading them on attractiveness.
No, we're not. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go ahead and order a Brooke Shields poster.
Wow, okay. I've received a text. Matt learning attractive people existed throughout history is amazing.
Is that your wife?
No, it's one of your coworkers.
Is it? Oh my God, to go back to the chat. First off, we've never had our highest viewer count of the day. And we were doing this. And then we have all of okay. Wow.
Okay.
Platcat's got to calm down.
We got to do one more.
Okay.
Just because it's important that you know this person. Kathy Ireland. That's Kathy with a K.
Okay. Still no, by the way. Well, it goes Kathy Ireland, and then right under it goes Kathy Ireland swimsuit.
She often was filmed in a swimsuit. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, what is there to say?
Have you seen this person before in your life? Do you think? It's okay if you haven't. Like, I'm not going to make fun of you or anything. I find it fascinating.
No.
Just not knowing people exist.
No, never heard of this woman.
Sports Connection. Thank you, J-Man.
What, she dated A-Rod?
She was in the movie.
Jeter?
She was in the football movie Necessary Roughness. She played the kicker.
Okay. Good to know. I mean, yeah, has a lot of this woman loves taking pictures with her arms crossed. That's like her pose. Like every picture she's taken. And then Kathy Ireland office furniture apparently is the next thing too.
Whoa, okay.
I guess that's a type of furniture you can get.
She's selling. Look at that. She's selling office. What a great late stage pivot from Kathy Ireland.
What was her beginning stage, if you will?
Swimsuit model.
Okay. What a career change. Can you imagine that meeting? All right. I understand. Swimsuit modeling isn't forever.
Good segment.
We can't do this forever. I understand.
No, I think we can do this forever. 5 women every Thursday.
Yes.
You learn about them. Mike Schaefer has dubbed it Dimes Through the Decades.
What a pivot for Kathy Ireland.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm still attractive. I can still do this. I'm still in demand, but I got to think.
I think that there's a more efficient way for you to be able to work at home.
What does everybody need?
Like, I understand that I got a beautiful face. I got a beautiful body. I keep in shape. People want to see me. But you know what? When I'm doing my paperwork, I don't have enough leg room. We got to find a way for the people to have better office supplies.
I struggled finding a chair comfortable enough to sit in for those long 12-hour work days.
Hi, I'm Kathy Ireland here for working at home. Have you ever been like, wow, I can't do a photo shoot for my apartment?
She really saw a gap in the marketplace and took it.
God. After people were looking at a gap in her marketplace.
Hey.
This isn't anything to do with their attractiveness.
That was a good joke.
It's about their importance throughout pop culture history. Just want to be crystal clear about what we're doing.
I'm a little
here.
embarrassed that you named 9 women, and we had so many more in the kitty.
Oh, there was only like one of them that I was like, well, it was Bo Derek was the one that I was like, maybe he knows this person.
None of these women. None of them. I'll tell you what, Brooke Shields. My God. Wacky Guess Wednesday.
Oh, wow. Think we could get her?
What would I ask her? I know nothing about her.
Uh-huh.
I've heard of Kelly Kapowski. I've heard of her. I don't know what she looks like.
Whoa. Now we got a place to start for next week.
All right. Let's talk about 3-on-3 hockey coming up next here on Middays with Matt.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
This has been one of the shows of all time. I don't know if Dimes Through the Decades is going to be revolutionary for this this program, or if it's going to set radio back decades. We're going to find out. By the way, we still have so many comments and so many texts.
Okay, you're going to need to
email
me
right
the
now.
names. Email them to me, josh@1620thezone.com. Because after the show, this YouTube chat goes away. The tweets are too hard to sift through. josh@1620thezone.com.
For those just naming us, myself, 23-year-old Matt McMaster, born in 2002. How did we even get to people sending us
It started with Olivia Newton-John.
Yes, it did. It did. And I did not know.
I don't know.
No, somebody texted because I said, this is how it began.
Okay.
I said, I never have met an Olivia that wasn't beautiful.
Olivia Newton-John.
And
Beautiful.
and our texter, John the mailman, texted in.
Thank you
and
for your
said,
service.
Olivia Newton-John was my childhood crush. I
That's
looked
right.
up what Olivia Newton-John looked like, and then I was like, oh, woman from Greece. Okay.
Olivia Dunn, probably your childhood crush.
No. I've just met Olivia's been one of those names where it's like it's not necessarily a crush as much as just the women I've been able to meet and talk to who have been named Olivia.
That's all we're talking about is women you could meet and talk to.
So, yes, exactly, Josh.
Mhm.
And then it turned into Matt, do you know this name? Matt, do you know that name? Matt, do you know this person? And now we have just and by the way, I've known none of these women. And so we have turned the 12:45 hour on Thursdays into an educational program where I get to learn about the women who impacted our society so significantly whilst I was not born. Is that the perfect way of describing it?
Yeah, and I mean, next month is Women's History Month. We're excited to do this.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. To go through names of people, of women who have impacted our society so greatly. Through acting.
And singing.
And so we're so happy to introduce Dimes of the Decades. Or what is it? What did Schaefer call it?
Dimes through the decades.
Through the decade. The USA women's hockey team is currently tied right now to Canada after one period. For those who haven't been watching said game, the USA women's hockey team is not playing well right now. They are throwing the puck around.
They seem tied. They seem a goal away from a gold medal, Matt.
Do you know what they seem like? They seem like they're tired. They seem like they're exhausted. They seem like they're just getting pressed, and they haven't really been pressed.
Longest shutout streak in Olympic history.
Also, dude, look at this. And this is terrible penalty kill. Why do you have two players blocking one shooter? But Canada is so umbrella.
Kenneth says, I hope we get another 3-on-3 overtime game.
3-on-3 overtime is the dumbest thing to happen in the Olympics.
Nah, frees up so much space, man.
No, stop it. Okay.
Players can go faster.
5-on-5 hockey is a game of speed, angles, zones, and systems. Okay. 5-on-5 hockey is not necessarily about how skilled you are, but it's about how smart you are, how physical you can be.
Look, they play it 60 minutes your way, and if that's not enough, they'll play it 5 minutes my way.
Why are we playing it 60 minutes one way, and then to decide the fate of a team and whether or not they're going to get a medal, we play it the other way for 10 minutes? Explain to me why that makes sense. This playing 3-on-3
that's when the
hockey,
rubes tune in for like me.
Playing 3-on-3 hockey in the Olympics is like saying, hey, we went to the overtime of the Super Bowl. Let's play 7-on-7. Why would you feel if in Game 7 of the World Series, we went to the 10th inning, we put a runner on second? How would you feel? It's not the same game.
Damn it, I do hate that.
It's a completely different game that we're playing, okay? 3-on-3 hockey is not a game of zones, systems, and angles. It is a skills competition that should be played during the All-Star break or the regular season when we just want to go home. But when we're in the knockout stages of the Olympics, you're telling me that Matt Tkachuk isn't going to play? Quinn Hughes had to play 3 minutes and 40 seconds because he's the only defenseman really made to play that type of style.
Got to be one of the best three.
If we went into overtime on 3-on-3 overtime, Canada versus the U.S., and we lost because Canada has a roster more fit for 3-on-3 hockey, I would be so mad. I would be so angry. How are we going to play the beautiful game of hockey the way it's meant to be played for 60 minutes, but then in the most important time, we're going to go, all right, we're going to play a mini game. That's what 3-on-3 hockey is. It's a mini game. It is not hockey. It's so dumb.
I mean, a lot of people like it.
Screw you. That's not the point of whether people like it or not. The point is keeping the integrity of the game. How are we going to decide who the Olympic champion is based off of a mini game?
World Cup goes to penalty kicks.
You're telling
PKs. A lot of people call them.
So let's say the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs went into the Super Bowl and went into overtime. We played 7-on-7. So Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and Chris Jones just aren't going to play. They're just not going to decide who wins the Super Bowl.
Chris Jones often does not play.
Talking about Chris Jones in his prime.
It's a few years ago.
Okay, it was 2 years ago.
That ain't now.
That's not the point. How did we get to Chris Jones?
You were setting up a comp for the Super Bowl.
Not setting up a comp. I was making a great comparison. Jean-Claude Van Thran goes, overtime should be no pads.
No pads.
This ain't Friday Beer League, Claude.
We don't want to get these players hurt. They have a season to go back to in the NHL. Would a shootout be a happy medium for you?
Don't they do a shootout after the 3-on-3?
I don't know.
Do you know what would be a happy medium? Just play 5-on-5 until the game's over.
Then you get weak little girls like Sid the Kid hurt.
He's not a weak little girl.
I mean,
he's
he's
one
like
of the greatest hockey players.
He's like 45, though.
No, he's not. He's not 45. Stop it.
I don't know. I'm going to guess he's old.
Don't you talk about Sydney like that, all right?
Why are you caping up for a Canadian?
I'm not caping up for a Canadian.
38-year-old Canadian.
I'm caping up for one of the greatest hockey players of all time.
Not this week.
The 402 Texan.
Hi, 402.
The opposing coach should pick which 3 players skate for the other team. That's even stupider.
Oh, that's an interesting wrinkle. I'd watch the hell out of that.
Why not Hoiberg, Texan?
Why
Jenna
not
Jameson?
No. I will handle the list. You send me the names.
Barbie Bennett, Texan.
No.
Guys, I'm not trying to get fired.
These are work computers we're using.
They are.
We're still at a commercial? What are we doing over
I know. I'm sorry.
Have we hit an intermission?
We're going to hit an intermission on this show.
Let's play puck.
Or
3-on-3.
Let's talk about Nebraska football coming up next.
I guess.
On Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
I just want to talk about sports.
Yeah, I said right as we went to break, I said, poor Matt just wants to do a serious sports show, and I won't let him.
No, I'm having a great time.
Talk
This is
about
actually
your
a ton of fun.
your footy balls and your real sports.
We love our correspondent Mike Schaefer, who's trying to make sure how can we do our 12:45 Thursday segment while also still being the most progressive show on the station.
It's important.
We're gonna have to have a mega itty bitty bit committee, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Kind of ruin if it's mega, it ruins the itty bitty part of it. But sure.
A mega itty bitty bit committee. You could still be mega and itty bitty bit.
Okay.
You can have a mega itty bitty bit. You've never seen mega itty bitty bits?
Just that guy from the Patriots whose wife is suing him.
Who?
Google that one on your home computer.
Okay, fair enough. Jordan?
Nope.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, and it caused her trauma.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Very.
I don't know. I'd walk into the courtroom with a really big grin on my face.
Never get me to shut up.
Actually, is that like the opposite of slander? Your Honor, we actually helped him. Canada's about to score. Canada just scored.
What?
Terrible.
That's as many goals as the USA has allowed the entire tournament.
Terrible. Over aggressive on a penalty kill. How the hell are we getting caught with 2 players in the zone or checking on a PK? What an absolute.
I've been saying that all week.
Or sorry, they were on the penalty kill. They got a shorthander. How are we allowing a 2-on-1? How are we allowing a 2-on-1 PK shorthanded? Embarrassing. They've come out and they just look slow. They have an opportunity to go down as one of the most dominant Olympic and you got, what is she looking at? Slow on the back check. It's terrible. Have an opportunity to be one of the most dominant Olympic hockey teams of all time. And come out and they perform like this. You gotta figure it out, man. All right, let's talk about another team. Let's talk about state that's got to figure it out. The Indiana Bears might actually happen today.
The Indiana Bears, are they changing the name of the Hoosiers to the Bears?
Stop. Hampton, Indiana, which is on the border of Indiana and Illinois, currently right now seems like it's the most likely site for the Bears to build their new stadium. This comes after a bill that basically was created and would give the Bears everything they wanted to make a stadium. Had some, basically it was adjusted, and it had some amendments added to said bill that then those amendments were approved on a 24-0 vote. So the bill now has to get passed by the state of Indiana. The Bears made a statement today saying that if this bill, SB 27, which would essentially create the infrastructure needed for the Bears to make their new stadium, if it were to go through, it would be the biggest steps that have been taken so far for the Bears to get a brand new stadium that they so desperately want. Kevin Warren made that statement today. The bluff that turned into, wow, this is getting really serious really fast, has turned into the most likely outcome for the Chicago Bears to go ahead and play in a different state. I want to ask some fans here. I want to ask some people here. Let's just create a hypothetical, right? Let's say the Huskers said, hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to build a brand new stadium. Memorial Stadium is going to be no longer. Okay. And we're going to find a new site for the stadium. And yes, we know you love Memorial Stadium. We know you like the location, but let's be honest. Memorial Stadium could be better, right? We could have a better stadium. We can have a dome. We could host bigger events. We could have massive concerts. We can have better amenities. The experience that you're going to have, at this brand new stadium compared to Memorial Stadium is going to blow Memorial out of the park. We know it's not what you're used to. It's not the Huskers you know and love, but this is, hey,
My family's been going there for 79 years.
Yeah, we get it, Josh.
Through the generations.
We get it. We understand. But hey, you're still going to be seated. You're still going to keep your season tickets. This is just going to be a better experience for you. You just wait. We're going to make Husker land, if you will. All right? We're going to have all these bars and these restaurants and all these. Man, you're going to go into Memorial Stadium isn't going to be a chore. It's going to be exciting for you. It's going to be the place you want to be. Even if you're not going to the game, you're going to want to be there. Right? Just trust us. And you go, okay, right? Husker. There's some Husker fans who would get mad and be like, why are we leaving? Why are we moving stadiums? Why are we building a new stadium? This is ridiculous. I like an outdoor stadium. But then there would be some fans who would enjoy it. So the process goes on. They're finding new land. They're finding a place to build. It lets us say hypothetically, and I'm just throwing out a hypothetical here. Say it goes 5 years. Say it goes 5 whole years. Of this
a long project.
Yeah, just hypothetical.
Still quicker than Crossroads, but okay.
I'm just throwing things out, okay? Hypothetically, it goes 5 years of them talking about the stadium and trying to build the stadium and find a place for the stadium. And along the lines, too, they just hire, let's just say they just get somebody in charge of the stadium project, right? And that's that person's job to figure it out, okay? So the process goes on. They're not getting the concessions that they need and whatnot. And by the way, this is the Husker football team you know and love, okay, that you've rooted for your entire life, okay? And all they're saying is like, look, we want a new stadium. It's going to help you out. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the state of Iowa just says, hey, you come to Council Bluffs. Come across the border. We'll give you everything you need. We'll give you everything you can count on.
Football field on the campus of Iowa Western.
Here we go. Just come to Council Bluffs, right? We'll build the stadium here. We'll give you everything you need. You don't have to worry about taxpayer money, this or that, or whatever. Let's just say Council Bluffs said they were gonna build the stadium. Hypothetical. Okay. And then you're like, oh, they're bluffing. Nebraska will figure it out. They'll build the stadium in Nebraska. They'll build it in Ashland. They'll build it in Waverly. They'll find a place. It won't be a big deal. They'll find a place to buy it. There's no way they're going to go an hour away from where they're originated from Lincoln. There's no way they're going to build it over there. And all of a sudden, it gets closer and closer and closer and closer to this happening. And let's say, hypothetically, and this would never, ever happen. I'm just relating this to the Bears, by the way. Let's say, hypothetically, it did happen. That Iowa built the University of Nebraska stadium, gave them all the concessions they wanted, everything they ever wanted, and the Nebraska Cornhuskers played in the state of Iowa. How would you feel about that team? How would you go about rooting that team?
Probably be concerned with the rest of the country laughing at us.
Would there be a thought of yours of like, do I really want to support this team? Do I really want to support this state anymore?
Oh, would I abandon my fandom?
Would I question of how much do I trust this team? Do I trust this ownership? Do I trust this president?
We would have a lot of people that would call in and say that they're not giving the university another nickel.
How would you feel about that? Because I don't know how to feel about the Bears doing this. I want to say I just set up that hypothetical for you to understand what I'm going through here. How would you feel about that? You'd be pretty pissed, wouldn't you? You'd be pretty embarrassed, wouldn't you? You would look around and say, how the hell am I going to call this team Chicago, the Chicago Bears, when they play in a different state, in a different city? Which, by the way, Kenneth goes, whoa, hold on. Hammond isn't that far away. It's only like a 20-minute drive. From where, Kenneth? From where? Yeah, maybe from the south side of Chicago. But what if you go in North Chicago, where a ton of Chicago Bears fans are?
It's not the drive or the minutes. It's the irony of the name being incorrect.
How would you feel if your legislation had their heads so far up their you-know-whats that they allowed the most precious and prideful entity that the state owns could just go away to a completely different state? How would you feel?
I would not be okay with that.
I mean, I just, it's hard for me to put into words just how embarrassing this entire thing is. Okay. And Kenneth, I get what you're saying. Oh, from Soldier Field, it's 20 minutes away. Kenneth, that's not how it works. Okay. Not everybody lives at Soldier Field. Okay. There are so many Bears fans that live in the surrounding areas that are 30 minutes away from Soldier Field, that are 25 minutes away from Soldier Field, which, by the way, yeah, maybe right now, Soldier Field at 1:00 in the afternoon is 20 minutes away from Hammond, Indiana. How about this? How about you go to Hammond, Indiana from downtown Chicago, rush hour traffic with everybody going to the Bears games?
Wait, are you mad about the traffic, or are you mad about
I'm mad about everything.
The name being wrong?
I'm mad about everything.
There's going to be traffic.
How can the Chicago Bears play in Indiana? How can you call them the Chicago Bears when they're not even in the same state?
That's what I thought you were mad about.
How can you be a governor with your eyes even directly on the presidency and you allow the Bears to go to a different state? How can you be a legislature? How can you be an elected official of that state and look yourself in the mirror and allow a team that means that much go to a different state? How can you allow that to happen? And I understand some people are like, oh, this guy's on Omaha radio. Why is he getting so mad? Relate with me here. Imagine the anger that you would have if your Nebraska Cornhuskers for 5 years were trying to find you a better place to play football and they went to Iowa, of all places, to go and play it. Imagine Iowa people laughing in your face, being like, oh, we get all your money now. We get all your money now. I'm now going to go and support the Bears. Why? So the state of Indiana could go and profit off of it? Rant done.
Gong.
It's embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing for the state of Illinois. It's embarrassing for Chicago. And do you know what's not embarrassing for Kevin Warren or George McCaskey? I don't think it's embarrassing for him. This is a business. They have a team. Kevin Warren was given a job. Find us a new stadium.
Yeah.
And the man did everything he possibly could under his parameters to build a stadium. He spent 5 years looking for answers in Chicago and in the surrounding Chicagoland areas. And taxpayers and the governor and everybody included never gave them the proper parameters or opportunities to do the things they wanted. The state of Illinois waited too long. And you know what? Kevin Warren said, this is a business. I have a job to do. We're not doing this BS. And Indiana, smart by them. They called an audible. They realized what was going on. And they said, that's where we're going. We'll give you everything you want. And here you go. Because we are prepared to do this. And your state has just had their head up the gutter for God knows how long at this point, and they can't. Good for Indiana. I hold no ill will toward Kevin. I really don't. I really don't. They've given Illinois every opportunity to give them what they want. So dumb.
Now we have the definition of Chicagoland, and Hammond is in it.
It's in a different state.
Can they call themselves the Chicagoland Bears?
If you're telling me that Hammond is in the Chicagoland, but Skokie isn't, get out of here.
Skokie not on the list.
Yeah, because it's its own place. It's a village. It's the second largest village in the world.
Whoa.
Yeah. Get educated, Josh.
I freely admit I'm an idiot.
Do you know who's
Why is Michigan City on this list?
It's
Michigan. I understand it's not in Michigan. But...
All right. I got what I needed to get out.
Okay. That's what it's here for.
We're here to help. What we needed to talk about. Andy Kendy of KETV coming up next here on Middays with Matt on 1620.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Seems like the only good player right now for the USA is Caroline Harvey. She's dicing up the Canadians. But there's no offense being created by the USA, which is great. But somebody who's always dicing up Nebraska media, getting the best quotes, getting the best B-roll, getting the best 5 o'clock news, the best 6 o'clock news, the best 10 o'clock news, the best live news and sports. It's Mr. Andy Kendy of KETV. AK, how are you, my friend?
What's up, my hype man? What's going on?
You're my guy. You've always been my guy. Always been a supporter of me, even back to my days in college. I have to say, I got to keep my guys right. Got to keep my guys hyped up.
Well, I'll tell you, the Hawks Championship Center wasn't the same without your presence today.
You know what? That is it's very sad. I love doing the midday show, Andy. And I love working with Josh Hodson, but I'm now going to miss the pressers, dude. I'm very sad about that. I'm not going to see your beautiful face anymore as much.
Well, they may change the timing. Who knows what's going to happen in the fall? Because one of the big news nuggets today is that they are moving to afternoon practices. So who knows when availability will be this fall? Nobody knows.
7:30 p.m. press conferences. How do you feel about that?
Oh God, I would tend to think that they won't go that way, but we'll never. You don't know until you know, right? So
you really don't.
Today, though, it was interesting walking out, especially after the weather we've had.
Mm-hmm.
You just get hit in the face with reality, with this wind, and who knows if the snow's coming or not. You know, that's the other thing. Like my wife is a teacher. Daughter actually is home, sophomore in high school, both snow days. I'm like, really? I mean, let's talk about our day, right? Talk about back in the day. Snow day? Come on. Do you see any snow?
I don't see any snow yet.
No.
But
anyways, back to football. It was a smack in the face of reality because it was like, oh my God, this is spring football. It's in the middle of February, but that's where we're at, earliest start for spring practice, and lots to cover. He talked. Coach Rule talked for 25 minutes or so, and it was did you gain? That was going to be my question.
What did you gain anything from his conversations, or did you gain anything from Rob Orich talking or Dana Holgerson talking? Just what are some if any, quick takeaways from the press conferences you were at?
Well, let's start offensively. They love their quarterback room. Obviously, the line that stood out for me from Dana was, we brought in Calandria for a reason. So obviously he's going to be the presumed guy, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
But, Coach Rule brought up a very good fact that I don't think people should gloss over, is that they have 3 different quarterbacks that have started in, a Power 4, not Power 4, but major college football games, including a conference player of the year. So that's a pretty good room.
Yeah, it is.
Quarterback wise.
Yeah.
And I thought too, the running back stuff was interesting.
Mm.
I can't remember who asked the question, but it was asked about, hey, you getting another running back? And Dana was like, you can only have so many guys, right? And we like the guys that we have. So if you bring in another guy, he's like, we've got all the roles filled that we like right now. So I thought that was an interesting take because, you don't want to talk about who they don't have. I think the coaches wanted to talk about what they do have, and the Rob Orich stuff was fascinating. I was very impressed with him. The way, think about this, he's the San Diego State guy. And before that, he obviously had stops along the way, played at Duluth, was at Idaho for a while. And now he's standing at the podium, there's 10, 12 cameras on him.
Yeah.
Room full of reporters.
Good point.
And he handled that like an old pro. I thought he was terrific. And just the basics of explaining the 4-2-5 and what benefit it does to give a defense. I thought, people asked about the fifth, the nickel, the rover guy, whatever. And he immediately mentioned Jameer Khan, which was interesting, and then mentioned Buford, which was an interesting deal as well. And then he mentioned Vincent Genatone as a guy that he earmarks, and he says that guy could be a heck of a pass rusher, and we're going to look at him as a possible guy to go on defense. And there's a guy who, he played, he can just about do anything. So
I've heard a lot about him, Andy, from the perspective of just how athletic he is. And that's a guy too that they've mentioned before, all the way back in the spring last year as well. So I think it all, you know, we've kind of gotten into the process of sometimes they say guys' names and we've just come to be like, we don't buy stock in. But, you know, there was a moment, and I think you remember this in year one, where all of a sudden we hear about them moving John Bullock over, right? The guy was a DB and they moved him over to linebacker, and they see something in him, and then all of a sudden he's playing in the NFL. So, you know, there's a little give and take where it's like you buy into some things that definitely could come true, you know, and could come to fruition.
Yeah, when your defensive coordinator says Mario Buford's a guy who can pop, he's ready to pop.
Yeah,
meaning he's ready to explode on the scene. You gotta open your eyes to that fact. And you know, the other thing I thought was interesting too was the special teams component that we haven't really chatted much about. But you know, you're giving the coordinator job to a Nebraska guy and Brett Maher, who it doesn't have coordinating experience as an individual at the coaching level. But let's be honest, he's been in special teams rooms all over the country at every level. So, and then you match him with the Humphrey guy that came over with
Nick Humphrey.
Nick Humphrey who came over with Mike Eckler.
Yeah. And
so at least schematically, they've got that down pat. So I think that's something that we're going to have to watch as this thing progresses. And I'm kind of fascinated to see. It's really interesting how we've gone basketball. Now we pivot and you're like, oh yeah. Don't forget about this shiny object over here in football, because it's been one of the more quiet off seasons in around here since I've been here. And that's been, you know, I'm going on 17 years. So
AK, do you think there's like a little bit more stock to buy from the words of guys like Jeep Wade, Lonnie Teasley, Rob Orich, Corey Brown? The list goes on of new guys in the building because they're seeing things for the first time and they might not have the relationships or maybe even, I don't want to I hate using the word biases, but like, you know, they're just seeing, you have fresh eyes on the product. And so they're willing to be more honest about some of the things that they're saying, or maybe willing to be more blunt is a better way of putting it.
Yeah, I think so. I think defensively, especially because Orich brought in quote unquote his guys, and not across the room, but brought in enough of his guys who at least it's got a good mix on the defensive staff. So I think that's going to work out real well. And then the Jeep Wade thing, I think that's going to do wonders. I mean, I just go back because we didn't get to talk to Jeep today, but we did get to hear from Dana Holgorsen, and Holgorsen said that Pritchett is an entirely new human being with this whole change on the offensive line. And he is as fired up and spirited as he's ever seen. So that's intriguing to me that because Pritchett is one of those guys who you look at him and you're like, yeah, this guy, if he develops, this guy is a Sunday guy, and they need a guy, an anchor like that on that line to obviously open holes, but protect the quarterback. And obviously we don't have to go into how that was an issue last year. But the other thing too, you know, getting back with the offensive line and I think maybe it was Sean or Sam, one of them asked Dana about the running component, about how many design runs, because Anthony Clandry is more can run as well as passing. And Dana said it's not as much about designing specific run plays for the quarterback in Clandry because he can run. It's more of the ability to escape trouble and scramble and gain a positive out of a negative after you get out of system, and use a volleyball term. When you get out of system, everything breaks down on a pass play. You got a quarterback that can make something happen with his feet. And he says that will be as much, if not more, of a benefit of having that guy back there that can move than an actual quarterback draw or a quarterback sweep left or whatever you want to call it.
What did you make of Rule saying he wants Dana to call plays fearlessly? What does that communicate to you anything of what was going on last year that maybe we didn't know?
No, I don't want to go too far into it because I don't know exactly what he meant, but Dana was asked about that and that specific wording, and he kind of shrugged it off, and he just says he just wants to fearlessly, to him, is like he wants to figure out what the team's strength is and play into it. And he did say it took him to like week 7 to figure out what the strength of last year's team was. I thought that was interesting.
But
I do think,
is that not concerning? Is that not concerning a little bit?
I think because of the inconsistency of the offense, I think that had something
Sure.
to do with it. But I do think some of it has to do with now he's got multiple options in terms of not just a quarterback, but at running back. He mentioned the big three receivers in, Ja'Cory, Hunter, and Quasi Gilmer. And I think that, and made specific reference that Gilmer was a guy in demand in the portal and that they really had to go after him to get him. So that tells me that he's really high on those three. And I think that, talk about not eliminating anything in his bag. Well, maybe last year he had to eliminate a couple things in his bag, right?
Sure.
Now
He's
got the whole arsenal at his disposal, and that's where you can maybe call plays fearlessly, if that makes any sense. But that's just me guessing.
Over any concern over the basketball team at all? The Nebraska basketball team?
Huskers?
Yeah, the Huskers.
Nah, not yet.
Okay.
Now, if they were to drop a game to Penn State or Maryland, then the red flag goes up.
Sure.
But I mean, it's college basketball. They're going to lose some games, and it's not like they're losing to lower tier teams. All your losses are against either nationally ranked teams or teams that are going to be NCAA tournament teams. And yeah, it was unfortunate the way that the game ended for Nebraska the other night. But that being said, they're not getting their doors blown off. They're in every game. And yeah, it's been a rough stretch. I think they're going to figure it out. I think Saturday is a wonderful opportunity to get right against a Penn State team that is struggling.
Yeah.
And
that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. And I do think that they got a real chance here to end the regular season on a high note. And if nothing else, I think Tuesday how excited are you for that season finale, the regular season finale?
Oh my Lord.
Isn't that going to be incredible?
And
it's going to be a raucous atmosphere.
And it's going to be a Saturday game, right? Isn't that on a Saturday?
I think it's a Sunday.
Okay.
It might be a Sunday.
Well, it's on a weekend, which will be awesome. So are you guys, you're going to the Big Ten tournament, correct?
We are.
Okay.
I don't know who is. It may be me, maybe Lauren. We don't know. Now, here's the thing with Lauren. Okay, we send her to Michigan, they lose.
Yeah, good point.
We send her to Iowa, they lose. I don't know. Maybe we need a vote if she gets to go or not.
Whoa. I don't know. I don't think she'd be very happy with me if I voted no.
No, I think so too. And I think if anything, some people cringe at trips like this. Lauren's the first to raise her hand, which I love.
She does.
And she is one of those people that wants to do that. And yeah, Tuesday was a long day. I mean, she left the station at 9 a.m., didn't get back to her hotel until 1:30 in the morning. And that's, driving to Iowa City. So
yeah,
she deserves to go. She wants to go. It's her gig. Plus she's obviously been to way more games this year than I have because I'm back manning stuff in the studio. And to follow up, circle back Sunday, March 8th against Iowa, 4:00 at Lincoln at PBA. And that's because the girls tournament is the day before at PBA.
Hey, real quick. I know we're talking a lot about Nebraska men's basketball, but Omaha 80-71 yesterday against Oral Roberts. They're now 15-14 on the season, over 500. They won 3 games in a row, including a win over the St. Thomas Commies. Omaha's got a couple of games, so they have. Let me look here, Andy, real quick. I think they have 4 games left in the Summit League. 1, 2. No, I believe they have 2 games left in the Summit League. I don't think they're going to be able to get to third in terms of seeding in the Summit League. But what do you think the outlook is for the Mavericks in the Summit League tournament? Can they go back to back? And are you guys kind of on pins and needles potentially covering them?
We're in wait and see mode with that. And I think if Omaha plays like they have been, they can beat anyone in that league.
Wow.
Honestly, I think that league is there for the taking, and they've got some guys who have been down that road before and have been there and have big game experience. So that's a benefit for them. I think they've been terrific lately. And honestly, if anybody knows how to win up there, it's some
them.
of those guys, the Osborns, the Glovers. And I do want to mention what a great win that was for Creighton last night.
Thank you.
Talk about a team that, if you get a Creighton team that plays like that in New York City at the Big East tournament, look out, because they're going to win some games. And that was one of those games that was just like, wow, that was something else. Quite honestly, give you an insight. They were like story 3 or 4 last night until about 8:50. About 7:40, and I'm like, oh, let's blow up the rundown. They're now the lead.
Yeah,
that was something else.
Well,
and that kind of flip flop stuff.
Another thing is too.
So.
AK, like, we don't do this for the results as much as we do it for the stories, right? And like what they've had to battle through on the court and off the court, and how much they've had to be there for one another, dealing what they've dealt with. It's an incredible story that. It didn't come to a conclusion yesterday by any way, in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, it was a hell of an accomplishment and a building up to of what they've been battling through the last couple of weeks for sure.
Yeah, and I thought Coach Mack his post game comments. I don't know if you've seen it. Creighton put it up on their YouTube page.
Yeah,
pretty telling. And when first of all, Coach Mack gave a hat tip to Connecticut. Everybody, some fans might have the knee-jerk reaction to think that those two teams hate each other, Creighton, UConn, and obviously fans have fun with Danny Hurley and whatever.
Sure.
But I'll tell you, that was as classy of a move by the UConn athletic department that I've seen college athletics, to do a moment of silence for Josh Baum before the game. I think that was just an incredible gesture by UConn, and then to have Coach Mack first point that out, and then Coach McDermott saying that he's been around the block. Obviously, he's been in the game for more than 3 decades, right? Coaching.
Oh yeah, big time.
And to have him say that this is as big of a win, just given the circumstances. They had to go to a wake and then a funeral, and then figure out you battle through injuries from a basketball perspective, and then you go into the 5th ranked team in the country on their home floor, and you are humongous dogs. Like, you haven't been this big of a dog in decades, right?
Yeah,
and then
literally.
I looked. I was like, I wonder what the money line was. They were plus 940 on the money line last night. Plus 940.
Crazy.
And to go out and really outplay UConn. You outplayed that, if nothing else, should give that team a jolt of confidence. If you can do that, you can play with anybody in the country. I'm sorry, because UConn at their best is as good as anybody in the country.
And he said yesterday in the post game here on 1620 The Zone, he goes, in 37 years of doing this, I've never been more proud of a guy than I was of Josh Dix. I think just it's funny. We get caught up in the Elite Eights and the Final Fours and the journey and everything like that, but sometimes it's the teams that go 14-13 through their first 27 games that impact you the most. And it seems like that's something that's happened here in Omaha. AK, you're the man, dude. Thank you so much for always coming on and talking to us, giving us some great content. Thank you for the update on the press conferences. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks, my friend.
Thanks, brother. Be good. Have a good one.
Will do. See you, Andy. Andy Kendy of KETV. Coming up next, Josh Hodson tells you what to watch tonight, and I give you a dog of the day here on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
with Matt here, wrapping up on a gloomy, cold, and potentially snowy Thursday here in the Metro. It's been a show. It's been a show, my friend. It's been quite the show. Covered a lot of bases.
A lot of fun was had.
Basketball, college football. We talked about hockey. We talked about women that I didn't know existed in the 80s and 90s.
That's right. That was a great segment.
That was an incredible segment because it's an incredible show produced by Josh Hudson and hosted by me, Matt McMaster. Josh, what are we watching tonight, my man?
Well, the NBA is back, my friends, from their long hiatus. Hey, if you can find me a college basketball game to put on this, I will.
I can't.
There isn't one.
No. Vermont at UMBC. Does that interest you?
It does not. Pistons Knicks 6:30 on Amazon Prime, followed by Celtics Warriors at 9:00. Kristaps Porzingis revenge game.
No one.
Did you know he's a Golden State Warrior? He could be making his debut for that team tonight. Women's college basketball, I guess a couple of games of note. Number 3, South Carolina at number 25, Alabama. 7:30 on SEC Network. 8:00 on ESPN. Number 7, LSU at number 17, Ole Miss. If you're more of a Big Ten type of person. Washington at number 2, UCLA, 9:00 on BTN. The Olympics going on right now. Second intermission in the women's hockey gold medal game between the U.S. and Canada. Canada leads 1-0 right now. Prime time in Milan tonight.
Milan, darling, Milan.
7:00 on NBC. The main event, the women's free skate event, men's 1,500-meter speed skating, and the men's aerials will be featured tonight. College hockey. 6:30 BTN. Notre Dame having a terrible season. I'm sorry, Kenneth, against number 1 Michigan State.
Okay.
I guess. And finally, 7:00 on Fox. TMZ presents Michael Jackson, 30 Fatal Seconds, a misleading title because it has nothing to do with his death. In the documentary, TMZ reveals shocking, never-before-seen footage of the infamous fire that engulfed the King of Pop's head on a commercial set in 1984. Did you know that Michael Jackson was set ablaze by the fine folks at Pepsi in 1984, Matt?
No.
Okay. See, it's not just women I'm teaching him about. It's men as well.
Most progressive show on the show.
That's what many are saying. Multiple people have said it. It's not just me.
Where is my mouse?
All right, folks, let's talk right now. I'm going to kill your bookmaker. I'm going to rip his throat out. I will blow this man out. I will step on his throat until the man chokes. Let me tell you how.
Dog.
Winners.
Dog.
Winners.
Dog.
Winners.
Dog.
Winners.
Dog.
Winners. I'm on a roll.
Dude, you gotta love dogs, right?
All right, we're doing golf.
A golf dog?
We just don't. I'm not betting on the NBA, and there's no college basketball on tonight. The Genesis Invitational will just take place. Last week, somebody had a good week with Si-Woo Kim. I'm a very big fan of Si-Woo Kim. He was pretty good last year. He's playing better golf this year. Plus 455 to make the top 5 in the Genesis Invitational. Mark him down. He just teed off at the Invitational. So plus 455 for Si-Woo Kim to make the top 5. There we go. That is the dog of the day. That's the show. Middays with Matt is over. We're going to lead into the crossover and unsportsmanlike conduct with Josh Peterson and Mike Stibbs. What? Whoop. Here on 1620 The Zone.